Hello, Hannibal.
What's up, man?
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
You have notes.
Yeah, I wanted
What's going on, man?
I had notes. I just wanted to be prepared. I've had notes other times, but I just didn't have them written down. You know what I mean?
Oh, you had them like in your head?
I had them in my head, but I'm an older man now.
Is your mind starting to slip away?
My mind started to slip away, so I had some notes.
You drinking Alpha Brain and you got notes.
Yeah.
Dude, you're ready. What's the notes? What do you want to talk about? What's going on?
Oh, we don't have to get right into it.
Let's
we can
get into
flow.
it. It's
we
written
can just
down.
flow naturally. It was just more for sometimes if stuff lag or something, or if I feel like I don't have something right away, and then I'll like peek at it real quick.
Right.
But
okay.
Right now we fresh.
Oh, we're fresh.
It's
we're
good
okay.
to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Yeah. Sorry about Monday.
Oh, no worries, man. No,
Yeah.
shit happens.
I just did not. I was still in New York. I had booked my flight in the morning, and I just could not go.
You just couldn't do it?
It was just, I don't know.
You were too tired?
It wasn't just a tight. It was just more of a.
Just didn't feel like going?
Yeah, it was just it was the 5-hour thing, and I did it today. Actually, I flew in today, but it was just that.
Sometimes you just don't want to do it.
It was just that flight. I was like, ooh, I don't know if
That's
I can.
the beautiful thing about being a young, successful, single man. You could do whatever the fuck you want to do.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to be back. Got weird last time.
Got weird. Oh, here? Yeah. Oh, the last time was the Sam Harris one, right?
Yeah, that's been a year.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, that did get a little weird. Hey, alcohol is a motherfucker. It's amazing it's legal.
It is. It's amazing. It's legal. Well, also, it was just, I should have went to the Comedy Store. Which I still did do.
Yeah.
Did a terrible set.
Did you? Well, we got
terrible
drunk.
Set.
We did a podcast and got drunk, and then you hung around for the second podcast.
Yeah. Well, you said sit in. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure, sit in.
Yeah. It was Sam Harrison. Who else was it?
It was the guy whose podcast it is.
Oh, Josh Zepps.
Josh Zepps.
He fucking loved it.
Of course, it got crazy buzz.
Yeah, he loved the controversy, but you could see it was kind of gross. Even though I love Josh, you could see it while it was going on that he loved it. He's like,
Really?
yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
He enjoyed it.
Well, you were teasing it out too, because I started getting messages. What is this crazy Hannibal, Sam Harris? And so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because I knew once I left, I was like, yeah, that's gonna be some weird shit, and then I was fine with it. But then I kept on getting messages like, what is this? When is that coming out?
Well,
and
everybody saw it live, didn't they? No, they didn't.
It was
that's
not
right.
a live
That's
thing.
right, because it was Josh Zepps' podcast.
Yeah.
It wasn't mine. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Well, last time Zepps was here, he was talking about killing babies.
Really?
Remember that? Yeah, he was talking about like maybe you should be able to abort a baby 6 months after it's born. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
See, did he have notes?
No notes.
See, that's what
He wasn't prepared.
When you don't have no notes, you're like, yeah, let's kill alive babies.
Well, I
right?
think, like-
let's talk about it.
Gay dudes feel very differently about babies. Like they can't make them as long as they're doing only gay things. There's no babies being made, so they're like so detached from the idea of a baby.
Do you think that's? You think that's what he like?
No,
to kill
I
him?
don't. No, I'm just
Wait.
talking shit.
Did he have strong points?
No,
Oh,
they
he
were
just
terrible.
straight up killed a
I think he was just being
6-month-old baby.
he was just being controversial.
Okay.
You know, I think he enjoys controversy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clickbait.
Hey, if you're not a comedian, that's a good way to get attention.
Yeah, get a clickbait.
What
It's
else
fun.
do you have? You know, I mean, everybody can have a good point.
Right.
You know,
But can you yell about it?
well, yeah.
Can you make a meme about it?
I mean, we're our whole society, like our news runs on clickbait now. It's getting more and more slippery. You know, me and my friends, we call everything fake news now. Call each other fake news. Like
Yep.
I'm going back and forth with Ari and Bert and Tom Segura because they wrote some article about Bert Kreischer, and Bert is going to swear off of booze for 90 days.
Yeah.
This is the new bet. He's going to run a marathon and swear off booze for 90 days.
Where? Okay.
I don't believe it.
Where is he at now? Has he started yet?
No,
or is
he gets drunk every day. That's what the point.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to die like Amy Winehouse. That's how Amy Winehouse died.
You told him that?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh man, that's rough. You gotta be like
No, you got to be honest with your friends.
that hard. Like,
Yeah.
you gonna die like Amy Winehouse?
I said
Or
if you
like,
just go cold turkey. I told him to lay off. I go, you got to wean off the booze.
No, that's heroin. You die like that.
No.
With booze,
Heroin,
if
you just get the shakes and you feel like shit. But heroin, you can live. Booze is one of the rare drugs that will kill you if you drop it cold turkey if you're an alcoholic.
But do you think? I think there's a difference between heavy drinker and alcoholic.
Oh well, yeah, casual boozer. You know, like if you booze, like maybe if you have like 2 or 3 drinks a night and then you quit cold turkey, you'll be fine. But if you're one of those all-day drinkers, and then you quit cold turkey, you will die. It's very common. It's one of the more common drugs that you die. I think there's like benzos. Those will kill you from withdrawal. There's a few different pharmaceuticals that'll kill you from withdrawal, but I don't believe heroin's on that list. I think it's very rare that people die from heroin withdrawal.
What?
Yeah, they get really sick.
Oh.
Yeah. You know who Carl Hart is? Dr. Carl Hart?
No.
The famous doctor who is...
But I trust all doctors with just 2 syllables in their full name.
Well, he's got dreadlocks, so you trust him even more. He's cool. But he's a very, very interesting doctor because he talks about like drug use and drug withdrawal. He's like, first of all, one of the things that he points out is like, oh, let's talk about a drug-free society. He's like, there's never been one. He goes, there's never been one. There's never been a drug-free, and nor do you want it. He goes, when it comes to whether it's caffeine or alcohol and then pharmaceutical drugs, things that help people, he's like, we have this, like, we decide to demonize certain drugs.
Yeah.
And he's like, the drugs you got to be worried about, like alcohol is one of the scariest ones because if you quit cold turkey, if you're a hardcore drinker and you're drinking all the time, you'll fucking die.
Well, maybe cough syrup to wean yourself off or something like that. Something like.
I don't think it helps. I don't think it activates the
Small
same part of your
doses.
brain.
You know, I was talking to this photographer. I was at this festival this weekend, and she had a film camera. You know, like, do you develop your own film? She's, oh no, you can only develop black and white because if you develop your own color pictures, the fumes it'll knock you right out.
Whoa.
And so I said, so just a little bit of that would be a great time. Just a small. So just get a little bit of that, and you can just
like huff and paint.
Yeah, you can do a goddamn job interview and nail it.
Maybe.
Just a little bit,
Just
a
a touch.
smidgen,
Just like crack a vial in front of your
like
nose.
a micro dose of a little bit of that.
Have you ever tried poppers? Do you know what poppers are? Those little things that they crack them and they sniff it. Amyl nitrate, I think it's called.
No, I did whippers in college.
Oh, yeah. I did that when I worked at a creamery. I worked at Newport Creamery. It was like an ice cream place. And they had the ice cream, those big vats of that. What is the gas?
Nitrous oxide?
Nitrous oxide, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah. And we would do
Yeah.
like sucks off of it.
That kills a lot of brain cells.
A lot.
That kills a lot of brain cells. I remember I did it one weekend in college, and then I think I did it on a Friday night. And on the Sunday, I was just walking around, I was just yelling all weird. I don't know if I was forcing to yell just because I was trying to justify how I felt or if it was a natural yell, but yelling was happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you couldn't help it?
I don't know. You know, sometimes you ever just tweak out by yourself just to... You absolutely do. And after like a crazy workout, you're like, hey, man. Yeah.
After workout, I'm usually spent.
Well, people just
relax.
tweak out.
Just like how you did like a flex.
Like Connor at the weigh-in was
Right.
just tweaking out, but
That
it
was
was for
tweaking
show.
out.
It was
Right.
for show.
Yeah.
Sometimes you put a show for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Change your state of mind.
Just by yourself.
Yeah, like people say if you smile, it'll change your mind, right? It'll
Yeah.
change the way your brain actually feels. Well, if you freak out, it probably does that too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
There's ways to do it. I mean, why else would Indians, like Native Americans, when they would do those battle cries, why else are they doing that? They're getting fired up.
Yeah,
right?
you get hyped up by yelling or singing a song.
Vikings.
Yeah,
the
the
haka.
haka. Is that New Zealand? Or is
Yeah.
that-
Yeah, the All
Right?
Blacks,
Yeah.
It is New Zealand, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were playing. It's this video of them playing the USA team,
Oh yeah.
and they're doing this elaborate thing. They're doing it. It's very elaborate and
Yeah.
and just energetic. And they cut to the USA team, and they're kind of looking back, kind of just not confused, but just what's going on. And they went through this whole thing. Is this right here? Yeah.
They did it in a basketball game?
Yeah, the basketball
Give me some
game.
volume. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're playing basketball.
And it was like, yo, y'all about to get dusted by 45 points.
Yeah, what? Look at this. You're playing NBA superstars, you fucking dummies.
But it's just for the culture. It's for the. I mean, that's what they do all the time. But it's just. It seems so
stupid.
Well.
It seems stupid.
If you
playing basketball, stupid.
No, I think if you.
It's a performance art. Like the other players clapped.
Yeah,
the Americans clapped. They're like, good job, children.
That was, and then that game. What was the final score of that game?
100 million to 0. Is that what it was?
It's just weird if you do all of that and then
your ass kicked.
Get dusted,
stomped. Yeah, that is one of the most unfair things ever that they let NBA superstars play in the Olympics. That is so fucked up.
It was in our country. I'm from our country.
But it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. It's like, look, Andre Ward was an Olympic gold medalist, but if you let him box in the Olympics right now, it would be so fucked up. It's just wrong.
Well, because
it's just way better now.
The boxing Olympics, they don't let professionals. Is it an age cap to it, or is it just?
No, it's just I don't think they allow professionals. Although that whole professional, non-professional thing is very, very weird now, especially now that they let NBA players play. You know, because there was always talk of that. Like when they were talking about doing that, like it was back when Mike Tyson was a champ, and they were like, "Well, what the fuck? What if you let Mike Tyson box the Olympics? Good luck."
Well, the players from the other teams are pros too.
Yeah,
I mean the
whatever that
other
means.
countries. Well, Spain has some solid players, and some of them are NBA players. Paul Gasol, Marc Gasol, Rudy Gonzalez, a couple other players that played in the NBA. Australia actually put up a decent team. They got Bogut, maybe Patty Mills. I might be fucking that up, but they have a handful of it's a handful of pros from other countries and in those pro leagues that have been competitive against but not those guys.
But if there's pros and then there's American pros, when it comes to basketball, there's no competition. It's kind of a joke, isn't it?
It's getting close.
Close?
It was for a second, for a little bit.
It's getting close. Spain has some guys, and Spain has a bunch of guys in the league. So it's when Spain plays the USA, it's basically like some NBA players playing against other NBA players. You know what I mean? Versus random dudes instead of it being random dudes from Spain. It's actually, they might be playing, one of the guys on USA might be playing against one of their real NBA teammates.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The rules are a little different too in international basketball.
What's the difference?
For instance, you can goaltend. Once the ball hits the rim, you can swat it off. And in the NBA and all American basketball, pretty much you can't even touch the ball if it's anywhere close to the rim or above it. So it's like that's a whole extra rule. If you're 7 foot tall,
right,
you can just snatch the ball every time it gets near the rim. Basically, there's a couple other little small ones too, like bumping and shit.
It's interesting how other countries used to be non-competitive in certain, like boxing is a perfect example. For the longest time, like the American boxers were head and shoulders above the rest of the world. Yeah, like especially like in the heavyweight division, it wasn't even close. There was Henry Cooper who hurt Muhammad Ali real bad. That was of interesting story. This is back when Muhammad Ali was still Cassius Clay before he became Muhammad Ali. And Henry Cooper was like the big English heavyweight. And he rocked Muhammad Ali with a left hook. And you know what Angelo Dundee did? He cut Muhammad Ali's gloves. He went back to the corner and he just sliced his gloves. He's like, hey, we got to change these gloves. His gloves are fucked up. So they bought him all this time. They had to undo the tape.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they had to undo the tape, get another pair of gloves. Like, they cut his fucking gloves.
Because that's the type of tricks you could do in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what they did. But if you ever see the fight, he got cracked, like more than he ever got cracked in his entire career. Google Henry Cooper rocks Muhammad Ali. And so Muhammad Ali, it wasn't Muhammad Ali, it was Cassius Clay back then. So he drops him with like the perfect left hook. That was his big punch too. And Ali just crashes down to his ass and he's like out. And they gave him all sorts of time. He went back to the corner. They cut the gloves. They took the gloves off. Then he went back and...
He got new gloves?
They had to. They sliced his gloves open with a razor blade. They just sliced them. They're like,
so this is about 10 minutes?
There's a lot of time. A lot of time. Because they had to get gloves. They don't have gloves just waiting.
What was, I wonder what the commentator's stall game was like back then.
You can see it right here.
Were these guys used to stalling like that?
It's right here. Boom!
Ooh.
Yeah, like he is fucking out.
Got up.
He is rocked. And
And
it's
the
the
guy's like,
very
yo.
end of the round. The very end of the round. So they sit him down.
Oh.
Boom. I mean, that was a perfect left hook. And
Yeah.
he just got sat down. He's in deep trouble.
Yeah.
So there's two things happen. One, it's the end of the round. See, he's like really out of it here.
You're like, Jesus.
Yeah, they're throwing water on him. And then when they go back, they're like, oh, so they cut it out of this. They don't show him the
Oh.
clip. They changed the gloves. So
Yeah.
he's super fresh here. And he wound up stopping Henry Cooper by cuts.
See if there's a clip of the glove changing part.
Yeah. That's funny. It's like this is Mike Tyson's old trainer, not old trainer, but old manager. God damn it, I forget his name. But he was a boxing historian, and he put together all of these videos. And he used to do the voiceover for a lot of these videos, too. Like right when Customato died, him and Shelley Finkel took over. God damn it, what the fuck is his name? Mike Tyson's old manager. What do you got there? Pulling it up?
Boxing Bobby. Rudy Mink.
Nope. Nope. It was an old Jewish guy. I forget his name. But he had a tremendous library of films.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that Mike Tyson used to go and watch. Obviously we're talking about the early 80s. So this is before VHS tapes or around. I mean, those things weren't on VHS tapes. So he would watch them like on 16
Actual
millimeter.
film?
Yeah.
Damn.
God damn it, I'm struggling to remember his fucking name. It's driving me crazy. Something with a J. Anyway, point being, he probably edited that out.
Yeah.
They didn't want to show the controversy because it was plain, straight cheating. They just cheated.
I want to hear what the commentators did during that stall.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So what? We don't know what's going on. Did they just veer off into other talk? Sometimes how baseball commentators just start talking about some weird random shit about their family and cars when it's downtime. I went out fishing this weekend. That lake is great, man. The mosquitoes get to you, but high and away.
Yeah, baseball players, that's an art to that, right? Because there's so much downtime.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's so much downtime. I was watching one clip. I forget what team it was, but it was just it was somebody at bat, and then one of his teammates was just exactly mocking his just imitating his batting style and ritual, just each from like every little nuance to just what he would do with his left foot, and then he was doing that for all his teammates because you got so much downtime,
right?
That you could, and you're around them 162 games and plus practice, so you're like, I know exactly all of your moves,
all your mannerisms.
Exactly. Every one of your mannerisms down to the eye twitch.
My high school wrestling coach refused to call baseball a sport. He's like, it's not a sport. It's a skills game. It's a skills game. But you do have to run.
You have to run. It's not my favorite sport, but I respect it a lot. You know who Javi Baez is from the Cubs?
I don't know anybody who's playing baseball unless they get arrested.
That's a lot of people.
You got to be arrested or you got to fuck J-Lo.
That's how a lot of people find out. Javi Baez is one of the best defenders in the league, makes incredible plays, and where that's athletics. If somebody,
for sure,
it's certain, but it's a lot of skill involved, but it's definitely. They're definitely athletes, I think.
Yeah, they are, but it's like there's a big difference between that and say like basketball. Like you have to be in some extreme cardio to play basketball. You're running back and forth, and those guys are always sore after games, and they got fucking plantar fasciitis and shoulder issues.
It's constant activity.
Yeah.
It's no, you can be in left field a couple innings and not do anything. Just chilling out there with your own thoughts. Talking to the fans and shit.
Yeah.
It's none of that in basketball, just standing around, except for during free throws or downtime. But baseball players might go, especially if the pitcher's killing it.
Yeah.
You just get into your fucking stands half-heartedly, but it might not be coming out there. That's
the other thing about baseball. The fans will torture you. if you're sitting out there.
Oh yeah, that's a long time to be out there,
They
especially
torture you.
on a away game.
Plus, they're drinking. There's 18 minutes of action, your average Major League Baseball game.
Wow.
That's like less than one fight. You know?
18 minutes action.
That's like one championship fight or less than one championship fight or basically one 3-round fight, which is 15 minutes of action. It's crazy.
We acting like we made a big discovery and shit. Yo, baseball boring, yo. We did it.
Well, baseball is one of those games, like if you try to invent it today, they'd be like, get the fuck away from
in
here
this
with
day
that.
and age, that shit is definitely old school. But the
Yeah.
other about that 18 minutes of action, that's not even action of everybody. That's not everybody moving
Right.
at once, like a football game
Right.
or basketball. That's maybe 3 or 4 people moving around.
Maybe, right? Yeah.
Depends.
Sometimes
like if you,
usually
if you,
2.
If you turn in a double play, then
Right.
it's a handful of people involved in. But yeah, it's pretty
Boring
chill.
fucking game.
That's why they get paid a lot of games. I
Yeah,
guess
it's
they,
crazy how much money is involved in it.
people like it, man.
But it's gone to like Japan. Where else? What other countries adopted baseball?
Adopted it.
Took
It
it
was
on.
super popular in Japan. I know Cuba.
Cuba, right?
I think and maybe Mexico.
Mexico, really?
I don't know. Korea. I'm just saying stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just guessing.
It's amazing how little interest people here have for soccer. That's what's really amazing. When you say soccer worldwide, and you see how little we give a fuck about it here. Except those annoying white dudes that like to get really hyped up about it when the World Cup comes around, and they
Yeah.
scream and yell at bars like they really give a fuck. There's reportedly growing belief that Bryce Harper's next contract could be worth over $400 million.
I couldn't imagine
Jesus.
just that type of just scrutiny and attention on my finances like that.
Right.
There's expectation. This is not the contract is set yet, but when people are talking about what you might make,
So much money.
it's a lot of money.
It's too much money. It's too much money to be resting over your head.
You think 400 is too well? Say it's about, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what state he lives in, how much money it actually is.
Well, it becomes a thing, like with Floyd Mayweather, you know? Like, a big thing about Floyd Mayweather is how much money he makes. It's not just that he's a great boxer. It's that he's going to make $300 million. Apparently, it's going to be even more than that. Did you see the pay-per-view numbers? They're talking about 6.5 million pay-per-view buys.
Wow.
So it's more than 2 million more than the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's insane.
Does that include
Well-
the potential refunds? Did they say?
That's a good question.
Well, to be fair, he did nickname himself Money Mayweather.
Well,
He
he did
built his-
after he was Pretty Boy Floyd. He changed
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, then he built the persona around I
Yeah.
spend money.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do. I mean, it's cool and good for him, but he did make a big thing about spending money. That one time he showed like $100 million check.
Yeah,
Do you
it was
remember
so
that?
stupid.
I'm like, wait, why is that on like a regular ass check?
Yeah.
It was
Shouldn't
just like
be
on a regular Chase Bank check. It wasn't even
a big cardboard one.
not even that, or printed out,
Yeah.
on a, or even a wire or something. I would get that wire.
Yeah, laminate that thing.
Get
Do you
it
think
wire.
that's real? Do you
I don't
really
know.
holding on to a $100 million check?
But it was just a regular ass check that you would buy groceries on in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Is that what it
shit.
says? 100 million.
Yeah, I guess he wrote it to himself, so it's
Mayweather Promotions general
purse
operating
for
account.
yeah.
Yeah.
From the, you got $100 million in a Bank of America? I guess so.
And it seems like he just holds on to it too.
Hey,
He doesn't cash it.
that's a weird.
Pulled it out of his book bag at one of the.
Yeah, I saw.
Things, yeah.
But I mean, why is he hanging on to that? Why does you should probably cash that?
Well, it's
probably is
in his
cash,
other account anyways. His Mayweather Promotions account. Who cares? So the Mayweather personal account, the checking.
So he's probably going to make more than $300 million from this last fight.
Sure. Yeah.
Amazing. I can't imagine that they won't do that again.
That him and
Conor won't do it again.
with
If
Mayweather.
if Conor can figure out how to not get tired,
Yeah.
if he can convince people, like say if he fights Paulie Malignaggi,
He's not.
beats the shit out of Paulie Malignaggi, and then says, Floyd, let's do it one more fucking time.
And I think Floyd would be like, nah, man, come on. We did that already.
I know,
Best of
but
luck.
he starts thinking about that money. If you could figure out a way to get people excited about it, Conor could get somehow or another get more people to pay attention, because it was an interesting fight for the first 3 or 4 rounds.
He made it look interesting, but it really wasn't interesting. I thought it was interesting, but then when I thought back, it wasn't interesting.
Well, he caught Floyd clean. You know, he caught him with an uppercut in the first round.
Yeah.
Nobody hits Floyd clean like that.
Floyd
underestimated him, I think.
Also, wasn't doing that shoulder roll.
No.
He was, because he wanted to. He didn't believe in Conor's power. So Floyd usually boxes. And
Do you think that's what it is?
When you always see him boxing
Right.
that, like he boxed Canelo and he does that and he goes off of that counter.
I don't think that's what it was. I think he knew that Conor was going to get tired if he was backing up. You know that Conor has endurance problems. And as long as he wasn't throwing a lot of punches, which Floyd wasn't, and he's constantly faking and moving, he's got Conor backing up. He could be. It's way easier to be defensive if you're not being offensive. So if you're not thinking about hitting the guy, if you're constantly like feinting and you got your hands up and you're moving forward, but really what you're thinking about is what he's throwing, you can get away with a lot. And you could press forward a lot more because you're going to see the punches coming, because you're not really thinking too much about throwing your own punches unless there's like a clear, wide opening. So for the first couple of rounds, he's mostly like putting pressure on him, sizing him up. When I watched it after the fight, it became way more obvious. Like while you're watching it, you're like, "What's going to happen? What's going to happen?" Once you already know what's happened, then I watched it and I said, "Oh, I could see exactly what he's doing. He's feinting, putting a lot of pressure on Conor, and he's making Conor back up a lot, which is exhausting. And then also, Conor's not very efficient. He's not a boxer, so like there's a lot of energy being wasted. Like he's going to get tired more easily, and then he doesn't run, so he doesn't have the same kind of endurance that Floyd has. It's a lot of factors in there.
Yeah, and it was 111 punches, but some of them were like,
yeah, the ones that Conor landed. You mean?
Yeah, there was a few of them that were like little, boops. Yeah.
There were also like weird ones, like little patty pack punches to the side of the head.
Yeah,
and shit.
in the back of the head.
Yeah.
There's this one meme that it shows Conor like this, and it just says, "Fuck this boxing shit."
Well, you know, you get used to that in MMA. You know, you get used to hammer fists.
Well, I think that's what I saw. I was talking about that, and a lot of other people were just wondering if muscle memory is going to just kick in, and he was going to do some weird MMA shit. And it did kick in a little bit, but not to the extreme.
Yeah, I think there was some massive penalties for if he had any sort of
Like a
point deduction or anything that they did is something illegal. I think he had a massive penalty, more than $1 million for each thing he fucked up
I heard it
with.
was like 10 mil.
10 mil
That makes sense.
for each one.
That makes sense.
That 10 mil
Might
for
be
each
worth
one
it.
makes you get your shit together.
As long as he doesn't get disqualified, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
Like $10 million for one fucking knee to the body.
You know, I didn't know you used to fight until after the last time I did the podcast. I just thought you got it worked out a lot and just really liked mixed martial arts and combat.
Well, I never fought in mixed martial arts because I wasn't around.
But kickboxing, though.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, because I remember just seeing somebody say, "Yo, you talking about Rogan like that? He'll kick you in your shit." And I'm like, "What?" And then I looked up Rogan kickboxing. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" This whole time, she was just kicking the shit out of her back.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd that feel, man?
To hit somebody feels weird.
The bag.
Oh, bag's easy.
Yeah.
Bags don't hit back.
When's the last time you hit somebody?
In anger or in competition? It's been a long fucking time.
In anger?
Neither one.
Neither
That's
one?
even longer.
Yeah.
In anger, it's probably high school.
Oh,
but
shit.
in competition, it's I was 22 or something like that. That was a Taekwondo tournament. I was 19 then.
Oh. And that was you?
Yeah,
With
that
the
was
walk-off?
me. That was me with the walk-off. If you kick somebody to the body like that, a spinning back kick to the body, there's so
You
much
got
force.
on a bulletproof, though.
Doesn't matter. That's just moral protection.
Oh,
that's
man.
not helping you.
So, what was your, at that moment, when you saw him laying down?
He's dead. I knew he was gone.
But
I mean, not dead. I mean,
were
he's
you
not-
thinking, damn.
He's not getting up.
Oh, was it more like, yeah.
You have to walk away and like make it look like it's no big deal. That was how my thought process was. Don't get excited. Make it look like this is what I'm going to do to everybody. Just relax. Just walk off and have everybody so nervous that you don't even care. Like, this is just a normal thing for you. You kick people, they go unconscious. They fall down, they can't get up. That you got to have the people, because you're in a tournament, so you're going to be fighting a bunch of people that are sitting around
and they're
watching.
watching.
Yeah, you might have to fight 3 or 4 times in a day.
Who was there rooting for you?
Just my teammates, guys that I train with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
It doesn't even seem like, even when I watch that, it doesn't really feel like me. So long ago.
It's the hair.
Well, not only that. I mean, I also have a head protector on the back of my head. They would wear these head protectors. Either you could wear a full one that covers your whole head, like over your ears, or you wear one that's just the back of your head, which is really just there so when you get knocked out, your head doesn't fucking bounce off the ground.
Yeah.
Because we were fighting on a basketball court. If you look at that, that's just a wood floor.
Shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. We fought on a hockey rink once where they put a plastic sheet down on a hockey rink. So it was not the ice, but the cement underneath the hockey rink. So we were basically fighting on cement.
So the 80s were terrible, is what you're saying.
Fucking awful. Bad for brain damage, that's for sure. A lot of people got fucked up, knocked out, and bounced their head off the ground.
Jesus.
I saw a lot of that. Yeah. Not good. And for no money. That's the thing. There's no future, and no money.
For the love of the game.
Well, I guess it prepares you for life, and also you wanted to find out. I wanted to find out how I would do, you know? I wanted to find out what it would be like to compete under high-stress situations, like worrying about someone kicking you in the face.
Yeah. I'm glad most people can't kick somebody in the face, so I'm glad. That's whenever I go to a UFC fight or MMA, whenever somebody gets kicked in the face, I'm like, man, if I got kicked in the face, I'd be so disappointed. I'm like,
it's not good.
It's not. It looks crazy.
Yeah, it's terrible for you. The thing is, more people can kick people in the face now than I think at any other time in human history. I think there's a lot of fucking people that can kick people in the face now because of watching MMA and
the internet,
taking classes and training. I think more people are training now than ever before. For sure, there's way more people that can strangle people than ever.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Because the choke is easier to learn?
No, it's just more people are doing jiu-jitsu than any other time in history. Like before, like in my early martial arts days, there was no one that was doing grappling, really. Like, I wrestled in high school, and then there was no, like, jiu-jitsu classes. There was, like, you could take judo. Like, there was judo, but there was very few, like, actual, like, submission grappling schools or anything like that. Even nationwide, there was a small handful. Nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. Now, everywhere you look, there's a jiu-jitsu school.
Yeah.
Like, I was down in San Diego. Just San Diego alone, which is not a big city. They must have 100 jiu-jitsu schools just in San Diego.
Shit.
It's crazy.
I'm going to start sponsoring more fighters.
Yeah? Are you?
Remember I sponsored the one, and she missed weight.
Yeah, and Invicta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Are you going to do
fighting.
more?
I am. Some other people reached out. I got to just get some new designs for the clothes. That's really what's been holding me back. I got to get some new designs. That was an okay design, but I got to mix it up.
Did you have,
a
like,
bit.
your face on her ass or something like that? Is
It was
that what it was supposed
around
to be?
the whole body. It wasn't just the ass. It was it was just in case, just in case she got knocked out and fell on her face. Then, boom, HannibalBuress.com. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it in some organizations still.
There it is.
There it is. Oh, yeah, it all over. That's hilarious. And she didn't make weight. That's a bummer.
She didn't make weight.
I think it's harder for girls to make weight.
Well,
They
she was
carry more body
cut. Well,
fat.
she's fighting next week at. I think she was trying to fight at 115, and she's fighting at 125 now. Or she was trying to fight. I think she was trying to fight at 105, and now fighting at one. Either or, she's
Cutting less weight.
She's cutting less weight this time.
Yeah. That was the other thought about the Conor fight. A lot of people thought that Conor cut too much weight. That's one of the reasons why he burnt out.
Yeah.
That's part of it. I think it was a factor. He does cut a lot of weight, and that does drain your body. And it's not like when he's training he's cutting that weight, because he's not. Like, you only do it once. You do it right before the weigh-ins. You weigh in, and then you put the weight back on. So all that endurance training, all those hard rounds that you did, that's not after you're dehydrating yourself severely.
So your body's not used to operating at that level with this situation going on. Yeah.
Well, he's used to it because he fights in MMA like that. But MMA, you get more chances to take a break. It's different. It's more exhausting. Like, it could potentially be more exhausting because there's grappling and there's kicks and there's just a lot more going on. And you're fighting 5-minute rounds. Like, you have more of a chance to get tired in that 5-minute rounds. But when you clinch with someone, you could actually hold on to them. Like,
Right.
your referee's not going to break it. You can take them to the ground and get on top of them. You can hold your position and catch your breath. There's more opportunities to recover.
Right.
That weight cutting is the worst part of fighting. 100%.
It seems it was even the fighter that Janessa was supposed to fight that day. She took a picture of herself and she made weight, but it looked terrible. I was like,
Yeah.
ugh. It was definitely 105. Now that I remember, because 115 wouldn't look crazy like that.
Well, it could if you were.
Well, no, I mean it
cutting a
could, but
shitload of weight.
105. It was just like what? She was like, I made weight, and I was like, yo, you okay? Look, it was just she put it up on her Insta. I'm like, you know what? She tried to make weight. Shit, who cares? A few pounds, but I guess those few pounds matter. Obviously,
Yeah.
if somebody's overweight and didn't go through the strenuous
Yeah.
process that you went to, then they come in at an advantage.
Yeah, you have an advantage if you're not dehydrating yourself as much. But that advantage is crazy. Like, they should stop doing that. They really should figure out a way to stop fighters from cutting weight like that.
What's the alternative?
The alternative is to weigh them, like, randomly, the same way they catch people with drugs, like like random drug tests. Do random weight tests. Like, they show up and they go, "Oh, Hannibal, look, you're
Yeah.
175 pounds. You're supposed to be fighting at 155. What the fuck is that?" Like, okay. And then they catch you again. Okay, well, you're 176 pounds today. Well, you're definitely not fighting at 155. And they'll give you a weight parameter. Like, it says it's healthy for you to cut 10 pounds. You got to fight at 166.
Okay.
That's your weight class. So it'll force fighters to be more disciplined about their actual weight. Like, you can't balloon up in between rounds or in between competition. And you're also, you have to think about how much weight you could actually dehydrate out of your body healthy. California has some new laws. Like, they'll only let you cut a certain amount of weight. Like, they periodically measure people, like, during their camp.
Yeah.
They give them an opportunity and they measure them during their camp. And that was one of the reasons, like, Hannibal Buress, who was the bantamweight champion, he fought Aljamain Sterling, but they wouldn't let him fight at 135. They made him fight at 140
Okay.
because, like, he cut too much weight.
Is that a catch weight?
Yeah.
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 I think there should be the option for the crazy fighters, just the whatever weight you want to be class. That should be one. Like, for the fighters that might not be active or not on the bill, hey, we got this spot, like a guest spot.
A guest spot.
A guest spot on the comedy show. You know,
Right.
somebody just pops up. Hey,
Right.
a pop-up fight. No matter what the weight is, these two fighters,
Whoa.
whatever the fuck weight they want to be, they've agreed to fight. We got this guy coming in at 165, this other guy coming in at 215.
Whoa.
They've agreed to fight each other.
You're cool with that? Like old school, UFC 1.
Yeah, like the old school, but not crazy, not sumo wrestler versus, 100-pound dude, but
How much weight? 30 pounds difference? Like, that cap? What's the cap?
I think it's up to leave it up to the person. It's a guest spot.
Oh.
It's the guest spot
guest
fight.
Well, a lot of people do that in grappling tournaments. In grappling tournaments, they have the absolute division. In the absolute division, sometimes the lighter guys win the whole thing.
Yeah.
But there's no hitting. That's the thing about grappling. It's like you can get by in skill and technique and an understanding of positioning. Whereas, like, you're fighting a guy like Francis Ngannou or someone like that, just a giant 265-pound dude. If you're a 150-pound guy, you're fucked. You're just fucked.
That guy, he's what, 8-0 or something? Or he's
10-1.
10-1.
Yeah, I think he lost one of his early fights. The commission, okay, look at that. They have a 10-point plan to curb the weight cutting while protecting fighters. Now normalized in the commission's rules are a steeper fine for missing weight, a 10% cap on the weight a fighter is allowed to gain between the time the weigh-ins. Oh, that's interesting. And an event and the weight class restrictions for those who miss weight more than once. They also recognize 4 new weight classes. I think that's huge. Have a bunch of weight classes. They should have weight classes every 10 pounds. That guy, Andy Foster, he's the California State Athletic Commission executive director. He's the shit. That guy's awesome. He really is the most proactive out of all the athletic commission guys. So that's it. They'll figure it out. They banned the use of IVs, which is interesting too, because IVs help you considerably to rehydrate.
Sure. Yeah, they banned him.
Yeah, they banned them. They don't want people relying on that
Stay thirsty, motherfucker. Stay thirsty. Get punched. It's fight time.
Just all these articles about Kevin Durant about talking shit about Under Armour. Dude, that crushed their stock yesterday. It's crazy. It's
Kevin
crazy.
Durant is the Trump of basketball shoe stocks?
No, you know what he did? He's just like casually commenting about like how kids will pick schools based on what sneakers they're gonna have to wear.
Pretty true.
Yeah.
Oh.
NBA star Durant takes a shot at Under Armour, but he just said it in a matter of fact sort of a way. He's like, kids don't want to play in Under Armour. See, look at this. Nobody wants to play in Under Armours. I'm sorry. The top kids don't because they all play Nike.
On a podcast.
Yeah, dude.
On a podcast interview, dropped the stock.
Is that what it was? A
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah, the
Bill
Ringer
Simmons.
podcast.
The Ringer podcast. It dropped the stock 3%. You know how
3?
much money that must be? For a giant company like Under Armour, 3%, that's $1 billion plus company. 3% is probably tens of millions of dollars, right?
It'll bounce back though.
How much is the actual difference?
It's down 44% since the start of the year. Oh, that's not good if it's already been sliding. Go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with Under Armour and hunting too. A lot of people think that Under Armour is they're worried about their hunting division because like anti-hunters, they're like the only gigantic company that has the stones to support something that's as controversial as hunting.
They haven't been around very long though either, right? Like
Under Armour?
15 years maybe.
I think
If that.
it's a good question.
Like, I read
think
a
they're
thing-
I think they're from the 90s.
I read some Adidas started back long time ago, and that
Oh, yeah.
two brothers, and that's where Puma started. It's the two brothers started Adidas and Puma or something like that. Or
Adidas
Reebok
is from. I remember Run DMC. My Adidas.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
but-
1980
and
something.
they're just now rebounding from the problems that Nike.
Did you
is
pee that quick? You're a wizard.
taking over from.
How the hell did you do that?
Listen, man.
You just got a hatch.
I
you just
gotta-
open it up.
this is-
pour it out.
Trying to be professional.
That's the craziest, fastest pee I've ever seen. You've downed 3 waters since you've been here, man. You
I
like
have.
all this talk about these fighters dehydrating yourself. You're like, fuck
Yeah,
that.
I
not
don't have to
me.
live by those rules. Nope, not in this game.
We were talking about Under Armour. They have a hunting division, and they take a ton of shit. Because I know those. There's a bunch of like crowdfund things, not crowd funds. What are those things?
GoFundMe kind of thing.
No, it wasn't a fun thing. It was a crowd something or another that were going after Cameron Haynes because they were calling him a trophy hunter, and they were trying to get Under Armour to drop him. But then you look at like how many people, like their hunting division is this tiny division, and then Under Armour itself, the company, is just gigantic. It's very interesting. There's not a lot of companies that would be that big that would support hunting. It takes a lot of balls.
Yeah, that means the CEO is definitely into hunting.
Yeah,
and he's like,
that's
"This
exactly
is my
what it
buddy."
is. Yeah,
Because
That's
there's
exactly
no
what it
other
is.
reason.
Well, yeah, the owners, and it's like, you imagine if Nike got into hunting?
gonna
Like,
say-
there's no way.
Nike was in golf with Tiger Woods, and obviously he was a gigantic athlete for them. But now that he's not out there or even playing golf, their golf division, I think they just closed it this year. Like they don't
Really?
even make anything anymore.
That
They might
other
still
dude?
make some clothes and some shoes. Like they're putting golf spikes on the bottom of Jordans, but like they don't make clubs or anything anymore. I think is what the
Huh.
They just putting golf spikes on the bottom of Jordans.
Yeah.
Get some of those extra Jordans out there from the recall section and just throw some spikes on there and just get them out to the U.S. Open.
Well, we were talking last night about rappers that get sponsored by shoe companies at the store. Like, I didn't know that rappers had contracts with shoe companies.
For years.
Yeah.
Nike announces it will no longer make golf clubs, balls, and bags.
We just said
Whoa.
Adidas and Run DMC. They probably
Yeah.
for sure had a contract.
Jay-Z,
Yeah.
50 Cent and Jay-Z had a commercial
Yeah.
rapping back and forth with each other. Who else? Kanye has his own shoe.
He has his own.
But he had it with Nike originally and then went to Adidas.
But it's only rappers. Like, could you imagine if a comic? Well,
Kevin Hart.
Kevin
Hart.
Hart's
Well, you have to
different
go to the next
Level.
absolute
level.
stratosphere
Yeah.
as a comic, or I mean, unless you really want to do it and do it on a small artisanal level, then you could do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I guess, right? It's a weird thing though that rappers get sponsored by shoe companies. Like,
Why?
Well, like Kendrick Lamar,
Yeah,
he's got some sort of a shoe company thing,
he's
right?
a popular person.
Huge.
Yeah,
Right. But does that guy work out?
I think Kendrick probably works out.
Probably.
Kendrick,
Little bit.
because you know what? It's certain rappers I could tell that they work out based on their show.
Really? Oh, because they have energy?
Well, not even just energy, but if your songs and your lyrics are very dense, where you're
Right.
and you rapping it, that takes a lot of breath control and cardio, especially if you're not doing it. If you don't have a hype man on stage with you,
A hype man?
a hype man is somebody is not
you
just for
break.
energy. It's so you can catch your breath, and so he'll take those last couple words on the line, and then you catch your breath, and then you come back. Because a lot of people don't have the breath control. So a lot of times, even if somebody's not ripped, they're in shape. Their lungs are in shape. If they can do a whole show of just kind of rapid fire songs and shit.
Yeah, I never thought about that. A hype man, huh?
Yeah, that's what the hype man. I mean, it's definitely they bring the energy up, but a lot of time, if you see a rapper and at their show and they don't have a hype man, they're like, I can spit my own shit all the way. I don't need a hype man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they're fast with their lyrics, right?
Yeah, and Kendrick doesn't, he doesn't rap over his own beats. That's a pet peeve of mine. A lot of big rappers, and they will just rap over the song, the actual song, at their own.
Lip syncing almost.
Pretty much just rapping over the shit at their own concert. Now, I'll get sometimes if, say, you pop up at somebody's show to do a guest spot as a rapper and you do your biggest song, this person's DJ doesn't have your instrumental. He only has the regular track. Then rap over that, but it's your show. I don't want to hear you rap over that because you're just rapping over this well-produced song. I'd rather just hear this shit crispy in the club.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just otherwise, you're just seeing their presence, and that's enough.
Yeah, it's just. It's still, it's still fun, but it's just not when you know what the alternative is, which is you being a good polished performer.
Yeah.
Then you're like, come on, man, just don't rap over your shit.
Yeah, that's a weird pop thing, right? Pop singers are kind of allowed to do it, but when we know they do it, but when they get busted, it's a huge deal. Like, what was the girl? Ashley, what the fuck's her name?
Ashley Simpson on
Ashley
SNL.
Simpson. That was a big disaster, right? She kind of vanished after
Bad
that.
timing for that too. For her.
Bad timing?
Yeah.
How
She's on
so?
that big. She had a show. They were trying to ramp her up on MTV, like they were the Diary of Ashley Simpson.
Oh,
Like that.
yeah. They pulled the plug on that fucker.
Yeah.
That's it for her.
Yeah.
You ever heard about her again?
Not really.
Not really, right?
No, saw her at a party.
That was like 15 years ago, right? At least.
Not 15.
I think it might have been.
No, it was like
Easy 10.
Easy 10? It was
Easy
before.
10.
Well, I worked there in
I don't know where it was.
2009, so it was a couple years before that. I'm going to guess 06 for my.
I'm looking at 02.
2004.
What is
Four?
it?
2004 is when
Ooh,
the album
shit.
came out.
Wow. Yeah.
Damn.
13 fucking years. Time will fly.
Yeah.
It does not wait for you. You got to be, if you're going to be a person who sings on stage and moves around on stage and you're not going to be going over your track, you have to be in some serious shape.
Yeah, it's to put on a solid show.
Apparently she's
Yeah,
coming
you got
back.
it.
She promises new music
shit.
in
Coming back.
2017.
You just fucking re-broke Ashley
Hey,
Simpson.
we're breaking her music now,
Yo, I
letting
found-
everybody know.
Where'd you find out?
Yeah,
Oh,
but this
oh.
is December 14th,
Yeah, no, this is-
2016. She
Oh,
promised it.
shit.
It hasn't
Oh.
come out yet.
She's
Damn.
45 now. Look at her. She's got kids.
Had a whole
She
different
teaches
life.
yoga.
She found value in other things besides show
Sometimes
business.
you got to.
Good for her.
Probably a good move for some people, Just
Yeah.
get out. Now, we were looking at, what the fuck's his name? Mick Jagger's routine. Like, Mick Jagger's 185 years old, and that dude works out twice a day.
Yeah.
Like, he does yoga, he lifts weights, he has trainers. Like, he's just doing everything to try to keep his body together. Like, hang in there, mate.
Just-
I want to keep fucking supermodels. Hang in there.
Is this girl like 20-something?
Yeah, he's got like an 18-year-old girl.
Oh, man.
I train 5-6 days a week, but I don't go crazy. I alternate between gym work and dancing. Then I do sprints, things like that. I'm training for stamina. He's shredded, though. They had a picture of like Mick Jagger, like his body.
8 miles a day.
Damn, he runs 8 miles a day, swimming, kickboxing, and cycling. How old is he? He's got to be like 72, right? Let's take a guess. How old do you think Mick Jagger is?
He's 70. I think 72 is a good. 72, 73. I remember seeing something. Well,
When we were kids, 72-year-olds were dead.
absolutely.
There was nothing left.
And-
like you were on empty. Your body was falling.
74.
Damn. He's almost 80. He's almost 100 then. How
Here-
long is he gonna live?
I don't know.
How much
How old is
time has
Melanie
he got
Hamrick?
left?
How old is Melanie?
Oh, is that his girlfriend? Look at her, hot as fuck.
Oh, she fucking
Born in 87.
She's 30.
Oh, Mick, you dirty dick. She's just turned 30, and he knocked her up, right? Didn't he shoot a live one in there?
Yeah.
What are the odds that kid's gonna come out and not have superpowers? Like, all this stuff that he's taken to stay young. Wow, that's crazy. 30 years old.
Here's what I
Wow,
want.
she's
Maybe
hot.
Mick Jagger, because of
That's the baby. Giant head. Look, the kid can read minds. The kid's head's filled with vitamins and anti-aging serum.
look at her. She's like, your daddy's 74. Your daddy's older than the president.
Yeah, we have to find you a positive role model because your daddy probably won't be around very much longer.
Have you heard of Maroon 5 at all?
When you're 74 and you're having a kid, that is super ambitious. Like, you're optimistic as fuck to be 74 and have a kid.
Yeah. Even I'm 34 and I'm like, yo, I need to fucking, if I'm gonna have kids, I need to
Gotta get it in now.
make something happen
Yeah.
over the next couple years.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Yeah. But I would never at 74 a brand new one.
Yeah, that's
weird.
super bold.
I guess it's just like, you know.
You know who's got a great story about that? You know Theo Vaughn? Do you know Theo?
Yeah.
Hilarious, dude. He's fucking hilarious. His dad was like in his 70s when he had him.
Oh.
And he's got hilarious stories about going to school and like telling people that's his grandpa and being embarrassed that it's his dad. His dad
That's
was always
fair.
falling asleep everywhere.
That sounds like fair behavior for a kid.
Who's Jay Jagger? Is his girl?
First kid.
His first kid's 45.
45.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
His first kid
Might
could
be-
be his girlfriend's
He
mom.
might have an older one too. I don't know.
Oh man.
Is he married to the girl? The new girl? No.
This part.
Said spouse.
Oh.
It says spouse?
I think so.
So
Yeah.
He's
Here's
probably
a-
like, why not? I'll get married. We don't give a fuck. Take
Oh,
my
no, it
money.
says
I'm already
so what?
dead.
It says partner.
Partner.
Sorry.
Oh,
Part-
partner. Even better.
partner.
That's how you
means
do
I'm
it.
giving my money to my kids.
Partner means fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Fool me 3 times, I'm senile.
Oh
And I'll
man.
move in and collect on my estate.
She's
Mick
listed as lover in a.
Lover.
Mick
Texas
Jagger.
lover. Isn't that funny that we have like distinctions? Like, did you or did you not scribble on the paper?
Did you scribble on the paper?
Or did you not agree to some stupid shit that doesn't make any sense financially?
All
Did
right.
you or did you not?
Is your estate at stake with
Yes.
this relationship?
Yes.
How
Is it or
much?
is it not? Can you just shoot loads in her random all willy nilly, or does she have access to half of your money? Let me know.
Yeah. Well, nope, she
Let me know.
doesn't.
Let me know.
Partner.
What's going on? What's the deal? What kind of deal would you guys make?
Yeah.
That deal is just so weird. I have a friend that is a super rich dude, and he was getting married. His wife did not want a prenuptial, and he was like, "Well, this is crazy. Like, why wouldn't I get a prenuptial? Like, if we stay together, like, we don't have to worry about anything because
Right.
you know you'll be fine. You'll have plenty of money. But if we break up, why would I be in a situation where you could get half my money?" And she was
Yeah.
like, "You don't think this relationship is gonna last? That's why." He goes, "No, I think it's gonna last. That's why I want a prenuptial because it's not gonna matter."
Right. And if it doesn't last, let's work out a side deal that is not half.
Yeah, you can't just hold that over me. Like, well, his ex-wife held it over him. Like, he didn't have a prenup, and when they got divorced, it was a disaster. And so then he was going into a second marriage, and this lady was like, "I don't want a prenup." And he was
Yeah.
like, "What? I've already done this. Like, the fuck out of here."
It's a tough combo, man.
Yeah, it's like
That's
if it
a
works out, it
tough-
works out.
That's a heavy. I've had some heavy combos in my life, but that's one of the ones where, well,
It's
yeah,
heavy.
we've been kicking it for a couple years, but
Yeah.
I don't want you to, just in case this goes poorly, let's just get this out of the way real quick.
You gotta be careful, like what stage of the relationship you do this too. Because in the beginning, like if you decide to get married after like 6 months, you're on drugs, right? You're blissed. You're blissed out. You can't believe the relationship's working so well. It's amazing. She's incredible. She's my life. She's my partner. She's my soul. She's my partner. She's everything to me. And then you just get sick of each other about 2-3 years in. And then what's that 7-year itch? You know that 7-year itch?
I've not
That's when
had a
she starts
relationship
talking
that
to a
long.
lawyer, and she
Yeah.
goes, "Okay, listen, let's just if I get divorced now, And then the lawyer goes, well, how much money is he making now? Does he have any other financial opportunities that are on the table that could perhaps increase his wealth over the next few years? Because you might want to hang in there for a few. You start thinking about it mercenary-like. Like if I just get to 11 years, then he gets the CEO position and then he starts making X amount of money.
Sounds terrible. Just the idea of living in a house with a woman and then she starts hating you or resenting you at some point and then starts plotting leaving while just still just living in the house. Hey, honey. Blah, blah, blah. And then just going through the motions of what a marriage is supposed to be, but secretly gonna end it, and she kind of knows exactly when she's gonna end it. That sounds terrifying.
It's terrifying, but it's also adorable. It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh because it's so silly. Because it's like such a human thing. Like it's not. It's such a cultural and a human thing, and it's this weird lottery. Like this is the reason why men are attractive to women at all when they're really wealthy if they're gross. You know, if you see like a gross dude, like who's that guy, Rupert Murdoch, the guy who owns Fox?
Yeah.
He's like, he's old as fuck. He's like, doesn't take care of his body. He's kind of like, but he's got this hot wife, right? There's something adorable about that because it's this weird human folly thing that we got going
provider and security and all that shit.
It's a little bit of that.
Allure and power, blah, blah, blah.
But it's also a scam. And what's interesting is a guy like that becomes attractive because he's wealthy and the woman's not wealthy, right? You got to assume if she was worth $1 billion, he wouldn't be attractive. She'd just start fucking her personal trainer and I'll buy you a Ferrari, honey. Eat mommy's pussy. You know, like that kind of shit. But if you get to a situation where you find this old dude and, you know, well, he's just really kind to me and other young guys, they just want to have sex and leave me and he just takes care of me. And then, what is that? Is that Rupert Murdoch?
Secretary of the Treasury, Munchin.
Oh, yeah, he's got a banging hot wife.
Yeah.
That's the lady that got in trouble because she was tweeting about all the different clothes and things she had on a government trip. Yeah. She's on a government jet, and she's, like, tagging all the bags she wears and the shoes she wears. Yeah. And she's smoking, and he looks like her dad easily, right? Yeah. Doesn't he? For sure.
Gross.
He's gross.
Twitter... Yeah. When you think about how many people have lost jobs and money because of Twitter, it's really fascinating. I've had a situation happen because of it, but nothing. I haven't had a stupid ass social media blowout. But when you think about how insane it is with that, where this is a medium where you can literally control every single word you say, and you still say some wild shit that costs you millions of dollars or cost you relationships.
Yeah. Things that you would say around your friends, you don't think twice about, and you say it online. What I was going to say about these rich women, though, is that, like, when you're a wealthy man and the woman's not wealthy, the fact that you're wealthy is attractive. But then, if she marries you, she's rich too now. Yeah. Now you're just a dude, and now you're gross. And now she wants to stay rich, so she has to just kind of hang in there. Ugh.
Are you talking me out of getting married?
Trying to. I always tell people, just it's one day it won't be around. Yeah. One day marriage won't be a thing. It's going to take time.
You know, I spend my money on?
What?
I do random, which I was caught in a weird internet wormhole last week. I was a little high on some Adderall, and I clicked on this.
High and on Adderall, or high on Adderall?
High on weed and on Adderall.
Jesus, what's that like?
It's great because it's you have the focus and energy of Adderall, but then the creativity of weed.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a good combo.
Do you write like that? Is that how you write?
I was planning to write, but I just took some different turns on the internet than I would normally take. I should have written, but it's just when you take Adderall, what you're supposed to do is when you take it, you're supposed to get settled with what you want to work on right away, and then when it kicks in, you'll focus in on it. Versus, I think when my shit kicked in, I was just on the internet, so I just really dug deep into the internet, and so there was this article about this guy on this comedian that has all these funny tweets, and so I started looking at his tweets. He had good tweets, and then one of his tweets said, "I'm help my friend go to wrestling school. And it was this young woman that wants to go to wrestling. She wants to go to pro wrestling school. And I went to WWE SmackDown a couple days prior, so wrestling was kind of on my brain. So she had a GoFundMe, and I just paid for her wrestling school. Never met her in my life. I ain't got no cars, Joe.
That's Adderall and weed.
Just Adderall, weed, and
just
going to wrestling during the
disposable
week.
income.
And just pay for some random wrestling school.
Do you just Uber everywhere?
Yeah, I rent cars some places, but yeah, when I'm in LA, I Uber or Lyft around. Or,
But like where you live?
in Chicago, I'll get a rental, but I'm not there that much. Even though my residence in Chicago now, I'm still
You're on
moving
the road
around
a lot.
and so for my own frugality, I can't justify having a car yet. I am
Really?
gonna.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna get one, so I'm gonna break out of it. My dad is super cheap, and so that just kind of is burned into
Oh.
me. So I'm lightly extravagant and cheap and practical at the
That
same
looks
time.
like an extravagant watch. What is that?
This is I don't
looks
know the
beautiful.
name. Barrera.
It's beautiful.
I bought it because I was hyped before. I was shopping before. I did some shows at Radio City with Chappelle, and so I was right before sound check. I was like, I need to buy a shirt. I bought a nice shirt, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a nice watch. And it's not that crazy. It was like $700 or some shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's
not-
reasonable.
It's a reasonable. It's too much for a watch, but not any stupid.
But that's the one thing that fucks me up about watches. Like if you told me that watch was 10 grand, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
yeah,
It
yeah.
looks like it could be a 10 grand watch, right?
Right.
Watches are weird like that, man.
Watches are weird, but it just kind of they pop on stage a little bit,
Yeah,
and it's
little bit.
it's a
there-
bracelet with the time.
Yeah. Did you see that Floyd Mayweather watch? We were talking about that.
Yeah.
The La Ferrari that's all crystal, $600,000.
It looks like some futuristic shit.
Yeah, it looks stupid.
600 grand on a watch.
600.
See, I could never.
never.
Yeah, this
looks
is
stupid.
still even still now when I have this, I'd be like $700 on this. Jesus Christ. Guess we got to book that gig in Boise to cover this shit. Can't be doing this. Gonna end up on 30 for 30 broke.
Now, what kind of car are you gonna get?
I think I like the Tesla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're gonna
it's
go
ju-
electric.
Yeah, I like just
What if you have to get out of town quick and you have to hope that there's electricity?
like out of town quick.
Yeah, like what if some shit goes down? Like
Oh.
what if there's some sort of an earthquake or something?
I'll just get somebody else's car. I mean, I got friends and shit, so and I'm sure they'll be leaving too. So like I'll
You
hit
just
them up.
hop a ride. Yeah. The thing about Teslas that gets me, I love them. I think they're great, but you really can only drive them 250 miles.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what they say. And even that, you better be driving slow. Because if you're driving fast or if you're driving in traffic, like my business manager came out to Anaheim for the UFC. He drove from Hollywood to Anaheim, and his shit was dead by
Oh.
the time he got to Anaheim. Like,
Oh, because
yeah.
it's traffic.
Yeah. So he was stuck in traffic.
And there
so-
was no like shit on off the road
no,
to
he had to
charge
find
up.
he had to find a superstation. So you got to go sit there for a half an hour at the superstation, and when you do that, it fills up to like 75% or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part's a little weird.
whack.
For city driving, though.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a used car that's practical for the apocalypse.
Why don't you get like a hybrid? There's a lot
like
of
a Lexus hybrid or
Lexus
something?
hybrid. Yeah, those are the shit. And
Yeah.
you can operate. I think they have a switch where you could operate. I know they have that for the Acura, the NSX, that new NSX. They have an all-electric mode where you could drive it totally electric.
Okay.
Or you hit all the switches and it's
Yeah.
then it's super fast. Plus, it looks fresh.
You know what?
Yeah, there you go. Lexus hybrid. That's a badass car too. That coupe, because it's sporty, but it's just understated enough where you're not driving a Ferrari or a Porsche or something like that. But it's a badass car. That one right there. What is that? The LCH. Yeah, it's a badass car.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. That's what you need to get. You get yourself one of those. Look at that thing.
That's slick. That's
It's
pretty
a
slick.
wicked looking car. And you know what I like about Lexuses, man? They just never break. This
Yeah.
is my second Lexus that I have right now, and I've never had a single fucking problem with them. Those things just never break. You just drive them. They never go wrong.
All right.
Customer service is fantastic. They're the best customer service of any car I've ever had.
Nice.
And they're flashy, but they're not impressing a rapper. You know what I mean?
You don't know what type of rapper though.
Yeah, that's true. Right. If it's like
Yeah.
like De La Soul, they'd probably be impressed.
De La Soul, you know, Young Jeezy might be like, look at the Lexus. You know what I did this week? I donated some money to Red Cross for the Houston thing.
People get mad at you for that.
And then I remembered right away about the Red Cross shit.
Yeah.
It was like a knee-jerk donation. I donated to the Houston Food Bank also. But then I remembered about the shit with how they handled the Haiti funds and Katrina. And then I emailed, because it was through Amazon payments. I was like, hey, can I get that money back, please? I want to just give it to some other sources.
Oh, did you really?
I asked. I haven't got a response yet, but I was just it was one of the weirdest, top 10 weird emails I've sent where I asked for a donation back.
Yeah, that's slippery, right? I
want it back though, because they are. I think it'd be better for some organizations on the ground. This is one. The Texas diaper, because they need diapers and shit. So, and they're based in San Antonio, so you can just send. I just went on Amazon and just sent $1,000 worth of diapers, just because that made me feel good, because it's super specific and you can't really get too fraudulent with diapers.
That's That's a good way of looking at it.
Like with product, you just send the product. I mean, maybe somebody, worst case scenario, somebody steals it, but for the most part, if you send in a helpful product, that money, that shit is getting broken up. Some of that shit going to the mortgage, some of that shit going to like ink.
Yeah, it's weird because I guess effective charities have operating costs. There's no way around it.
People got to get paid.
They have to. Yeah, people have to get paid. You have to pay for logistics and planning, and the Red Cross obviously does a lot of good. There's no doubt they do a lot of good, and people just get mad at the accounting thing. Like how much of the money goes. Like,
right.
On it, we donated money to the Red Cross for Hurricane Harvey. And people were like, yeah, the fucking Red Cross is a terrible place to donate money. And like, okay, you want to say that, right? People want to say that.
Yeah.
But what's the best thing to donate money? I'd like to know what the best thing to donate for like Harvey is.
I think there's some, I did Houston Food Bank. I did that Texas diaper thing.
Houston Food Bank sounds like a good one.
JJ Watt has one. The guy he plays for the Houston Texans. There's a few other ones that are on the ground and in Houston or in the area where Red Cross is. I mean, they obviously, I know they have people on the ground, but it's pretty general. So
yeah, they handle a lot of different things, but they do a lot of good too. Like, there's no denying that the Red Cross does a lot of good. But it's that whole accounting thing. Like, people get mad. It's funny, man. There's a lot of people just waiting to get mad at something. Even get mad at where you're donating your money.
Well, I think the issue more is that from the little research I did on it, the Red Cross hasn't had full transparency.
Right.
With how, like, I think people want to know if you give $1 to Red Cross, what percentage goes to this, what percentage goes to this, what percentage goes to this.
Yeah.
And I don't think they offer that, and that makes people feel like they're getting shysted.
Do you think that's because they've been around so long? Like, Red Cross has been around for, like, how many years? Like 100 years, probably something, right? And, like, it wasn't until the internet came along that these questions even came up, but that people demanded transparency probably on a regular basis.
I think it's just because there haven't been that many results from the Haiti earthquake where people don't see tangible results. And I know I donated a bunch on the phone, texting to I don't know if Wyclef was doing the Red Cross thing or if he was doing something separate, but I texted a lot, just donate when that happened. And so I think it's just when people don't see results for their money, it's just like, they want to, especially if you just try to help something. And I think that's what makes it worse for people, where if you're trying to help and you donated money to help and you don't really see the results of it, then you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the Haiti things, it's almost like the infrastructure was so fucked up and there was so much damage done down there that you would need untold billions of dollars to fix everything. It's like when you donate millions, it's like you're barely even going to see any results. Like, I wonder how much how much damage was actually done to Haiti. You got to wonder about Houston. I mean, they're talking about Houston being just catastrophic to the point where some places are never going to recover.
It's pretty messed up, man.
It's raining there right now. It's still raining.
Yeah. And they were saying how the constant development that they've been doing there was part of the reason why the flood it hit harder, because they developed on prairie grass or certain land where this land might have soaked up some of that. I mean, it probably would have still flooded, but it might have been less severe if there weren't these acres and acres of new development. Yeah,
I saw that, where they're saying that by paving over these areas, those areas can no longer absorb the water. But it seems like you're talking about, did you ever see the graphic that shows the difference between the amount of water that rained down on Hurricane Katrina versus the amount of water that rained down so far on Harvey, not even including today, and it's going to rain apparently tomorrow too, I think.
Shit.
It's so much more water than Katrina. Look at the difference. 14 to 15 trillion gallons as of August 28th. And what is today, the 29th? The 30th? Today's the 30th. So that's 2 days ago of rain, and then Katrina's only 6.5 trillion gallons. I mean, that's amazing.
I mean, I'm sure it's people that dedicate their lives to this, but how do you count that?
They're out there with scoops and shit, measuring
rulers and
good point.
cubic. Come on, man.
How the fuck do you know?
Gallons. Come on, man. Beyond like oil drums, you really. Come on.
How do you really know?
I mean, it definitely looks like a lot, and I hope
seems like a lot of water
is all right.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I love about tragedies is when people come together and help each other out. And one of the things is there was a line of fishing boats, of dudes pulling fishing boats to go and rescue people. Yeah. There was like a whole line on the highway of dudes with trucks pulling fishing boats, and they were dropping them off, and they were driving, their boat, riding their boat down these flooded roads and rescuing people and bringing them to safety. That kind of shit makes me so happy. That's one of the fucked up things about people. It's like sometimes a bad thing makes people see the good in people. It makes people do good things.
Definitely. But how insane of just a juxtaposition does that have to be to, like, you in your crib just watching a show on Sunday, relaxing, or what, Friday, and then a few days later, you have to be saved by boat from this place where you usually just walk out and get the mail.
Yeah,
you have to somebody has to pull up with a boat. That's insane.
They say this is a once every 500-year storm too. But how the fuck do they know that? 500 years ago, people wrote shit down on bark. They showed like raindrops and skulls. What is that? People with a jet ski in their house?
Saved her with a jet ski.
Wow.
Yes.
My friend's grandmother being jet skied out of her living room in Houston.
What about y'all, though?
Wow, that house is fucked. There's a lot of fucked houses. The other thing about Houston, too, is Houston is so damp. Like, Houston in the summertime is so moist. That means they're going to have crazy mold growth. Their mold is going to be off the charts, and that shit makes people sick as fuck. Like, I've had a friend in Austin. His house had to be gutted because he was getting sick, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong. And they came in and did some sort of a test of the air, and they're like, dude, your house is infested. And so they broke down his walls. And apparently there was some pipe leakage or something inside the wall, and then just the general moisture of the air. Yeah. The entire walls were filled with this black mold, and it was getting everybody sick.
Shit. That shit is gross.
Yeah, mold is no joke, man. That black mold stuff can really fuck you up. If you're feeling shitty and your house has mold in it, you got to do something about that because there's something going on there. That's you're literally being poisoned by your house.
Damn.
That Tom Likas dude had that going on too in L.A. He had to get his house gutted. He was feeling sick for like a year, and then finally did something about it. Found out his house is filled with mold. They tear it down to the raw frame of the house and have to spray everything with this antifungal shit and redo the whole house again.
Shit. How long was he out of the house?
Like over a year.
Damn.
I would have
just.
just.
His voice, it says.
Did he say that?
That's what I'm reading a little article on it. It says black mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just said it really hit his voice hard, fucked up his health.
It's no joke, man. I mean, you're breathing in these little organisms.
Yeah.
I mean, spores are these little. When you're thinking about mold, it's like a fungus, right? Wouldn't you consider mold a fungus? Is that what it is?
Yeah, spores. Yeah, I think so.
That shit is in the air and it's poison. So you're basically breathing in like toxic poison all the time.
Yeah. That shit is just. I couldn't imagine that shit, man.
So you living in Chicago, you don't care about winters? Doesn't bother you? You could live anywhere.
I work around it.
Work around it. So in the wintertime, you're like, yeah, Hannibal's not in town.
Well, here
doing gigs in Florida.
So if I book myself like that during the winter in Cali and Arizona, Texas, Florida, etc. And then if I do a run and I'm scheduled to come back, but I don't have any actual thing to do in Chicago that I need to be there for, I check the weather, and if that shit's like under 25, then I just chill where I'm at. I look and like, that's crazy. Then I call down to the front desk and say, extend for 2 days, please.
Oh, that's a good move. And you just hang out wherever you're at.
Just hang out wherever I'm at, or go to some other warm place for a couple. That's how. I mean, this is my first time being back for a full winter, so that's how I handled it this time. Where I was just stay
you're
out.
living the life.
It's nice, man.
You're living a nice life.
I rent my place out. It's an apartment building. I rent it out when I'm not there.
Oh, do you really? Oh,
Yeah.
you are frugal.
Yeah.
You have people live in your house? Do you know these people?
No,
Wow.
Airbnb.
Whoa.
I don't have like stuff there. I'm pretty bare bones when I travel and shit. Just a few t-shirts, jeans, a couple things.
So your apartment in Chicago, you don't keep a lot of shit there?
I keep just the basic stuff, TV and the whatever you need if you're a traveling person, if you be there.
Wow.
And then I stay, when I get back, it's 3 of them. I stay in whichever one is open. I'll block out a couple days.
Oh, you have 3 apartments?
Yeah. It's in one building, yeah.
That's weird. 3 apartments in one building? Why'd you decide to do that?
Because I mean, I got it as an investment property. I plan on getting a separate place to stay in, but that's where I stay now is when I'm there, because I'm not there that much.
That's a slick move.
Do I sound like a weird, crazy, cheap
Yes.
person right now?
No, you sound weird. I wouldn't say cheap, because you do have a $700 watch. I would say frugal. Frugal's the right way to approach this. Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
I mean, having them sitting around, not generating any income doesn't do anybody any good.
Absolutely not. I think it would drive me crazy.
Yeah. So you're doing the right thing.
It's all right, man.
Yeah.
I was at it's this festival called Afropunk in
What's
New
that?
York. It's a music festival, and it's just a beautiful festival. It's all black artists, and it's great. And people dress up in the wildest outfits. It's a fun time. I met the people that put it on. I met them a few years back. They used to come to my show at Knitting Factory in Brooklyn. Jocelyn and Matthew, dope people. And so backstage, chilling. I was there with a friend. Somebody introduced me to this lady. She says, "Oh, she has, an industry job. Oh, I work here, and blah blah blah. We'd love to have you in." And I say, "Sure, that sounds good. I'd like to do that. It sounded like an interesting thing to do." And so she hands me her phone, and I put in my email and my assistant's email, and then give her the phone back, and she was like, "You not gonna give your number? Like I take that as a sign of disrespect. I'm an OG in this game." And I was super high at this point. And I was like, "What is happening right now?"
She took it as a sign of disrespect that you didn't give her your number?
Yeah, because I guess she deals with lots of famous people or some shit. So the fact that I just gave her emails, I met this woman 90 seconds prior to this part of the interaction. It was so, and I'm like, what? And I was so high too, but I'm like, is this really happening right now? I really wanted to work with you, and I just gave you the info to get in touch with me.
Yeah, why do we have to talk on the phone? That's less effective.
It was and so I'm like, what is happening? And then so And then so she goes on about that.
She went on about it for how long?
Not that long. But then she tried to continue the conversation after it's obvious that her vibe has changed. Well, I was she went from like, hey, what's up to like, yeah, to a very dry, oh, so.
Oh,
and so
wow.
she continued the conversation.
That's not good.
In this kind of dry, weird way. Well, she said, oh, so you're about to go on this tour with Nas and Lauryn Hill. How do you approach the shows differently? But it's obvious that she's just kind of asking
She's
it.
upset at you.
Yeah, and so then I just answered it. And then she pulls out her phone. And she's like, oh, my friend's over there. And then she like goes like this, like ignore me, and then I just said, all right, I'm out of here. I just walked off somewhere else. But then it was such a weird experience that the comedian in me was hoping she was doing some weird Andy Kaufman bit.
Was that intense?
It was just super weird because everybody else was really chill. I wasn't even having any networking discussions with people like that there. And everybody else was really chill. And I was like talking to other people like, did that really happen? And so I saw her later, like a couple hours later, I said, were you doing a bit? Was that a joke? And then she tried to play it like she was, but I could tell she's like, I had to check you. Like, check me for what? I gave you my. And so, but she was really into
collecting people. That's what she's really into.
Well, yeah. Also, she was interacting with me based on who else she's dealt with in her past versus just interacting with me as an individual. So she was just super salty. And I was just, it's so ironic that at this beautiful black festival, the only person being weird backstage is a white woman in her 40s.
Taking it as a sign of disrespect.
It was crazy.
You must have felt like as soon as she said that, like, oh, this definitely was the right move not to give you my number because you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was just more like, I was wondering, then after I was like, was mine, like, because sometimes I give random people my number all the time, like random girls and shit. I've given, but I don't know, maybe something in my instinct.
You knew it.
Just gave it to her.
Yeah.
But I've given people my email before too, but it was just, especially since I was super high, I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, see, the thing is, for business, though, email is the best way to contact people.
Yeah, because
like,
you can
100%.
Yeah, you can email somebody at 3 a.m. It's nothing.
Well, yeah, not only that, like, you can, like, if you say, hey, we're trying to work out the logistics for this thing in February, between February 2nd and 4th, tell us your availabilities. So then you can sit in front of your computer or look at my calendar.
February 4th is my birthday, actually.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
You look at that shit and you can go, oh, okay, well, here's what I've got. And it's clear. It's more, having a conversation over the phone, then I got to remember, I got to write it down. Hold on, let me get a piece of paper, or let me dictate it into my phone. Like that's less effective.
Yeah, especially
Crazy bitch.
It was
Crazy fucking bitch.
But it's
crazy.
Yeah, it was insane, man.
There's crazy people out there, man. I've met men and women that do that. They want your number, and then if you don't want to give them your number, they get upset. Well, this reason why you're getting upset is the very reason why I don't want to give my number. I don't want some.
We shouldn't be in each other's lives.
Yeah, you're too excited about getting my number. If someone's that excited about getting your number, you shouldn't give them your number. That's what I think.
Yeah, she started name dropping and shit.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
As soon as they start name dropping.
She name dropped the second time. I've done stuff. I've put on events for Obama.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Okay,
oh,
that's
yeah.
cool.
Call Obama right now. Wake him up.
That's cool. That's like really great that you did that. But
I've done events for Obama. Did Obama give you his number? You crazy asshole. Like Obama's giving out. Yeah. Text me anytime. No matter what's going on with the 7 billion people in the world that I'm handling.
Yeah. Well, maybe she's a troll and she knew that she was becoming a podcast story. Is she that? I like to make people, sometimes I like to make people more calculated than they are.
That's like some Illuminati shit. That's like some 3D
I don't think
chess.
So, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think she's just a crazy lady.
Just a weird show business lady.
Yeah, just a crazy lady.
Yeah.
Have you like completely moved past all the Cosby shit, or do you still take grief for that?
Not grief. No,
Well, now you're vindicated.
I was never grief. It was just where I would be forced to talk about it in situations I didn't want to, and also it came out the joke and that video came out right before we were starting the rollout for my Comedy Central TV show. And we actually, people don't know, we pushed back my announcement because
It would look
news,
opportunistic.
that
right?
news was that crazy that we pushed it back by the premiere announced by a month or two.
Wow.
Because it was that. And so even though I had my Comedy Central deal in place, since like 2012, I had an all-around Comedy Central deal. And so then when that came out, and then I got my show, then my show was scheduled to go on the air. It looked like, oh, he did a Cosby joke, and then he got the TV show. It's like, no, man, this is like my 4th development deal, and this is finally the show that I got on.
Isn't it funny how things like that work?
Yeah. But so that was the thing where instead of just having this show that I was able to, it was this energy around it, in 2005, July, all early 2005. It was this energy around it where if I was going to do press around that time, they were definitely going to.
What year was it?
This was 2015, 2 years ago.
You said 2005.
Sorry, 2015. And that show in Philly was October 2014. So, yeah, it just kind of really affected the energy around it as far and my want and eagerness to do a lot of press just because I knew it was going to happen.
It was going to come up.
Yeah, and I was just like, that was that. I'm not saying that that's the reason my show's not on anymore at all. Just before people were like, your show sucked. That's why I don't know. Yeah.
Did you like doing the show?
I did like aspects of it. I like the activity part of it, where there's always something to do. You know what I mean? If you the face of a show, you gotta write, you gotta edit, you gotta get the writers to do stuff, you gotta deal with costumes, and it's always a task to do. So I like just that I know for that, whatever 3-4 month period, I was never bored during that time. When I do movies, I'm hella bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like movies just because you just sit around and you go say some stuff.
It's like baseball.
It's absolutely baseball. It's absolutely baseball. If you talk about a 12-hour day that you spend on a movie shoot, is actually, for me, 45 minutes, an hour of actual acting.
Yeah.
And shit. And I mean, well, with me, maybe 10 minutes of actual acting because I'm not a good actor at all. I'm just saying words. But yeah, shit is just mind-numbingly boring. But the finished product is cool to see and it's dope to be a part of. But when doing it, the director has a lot to, he's moving around and he got a lot of shit to do. And so he might, doing it, that shit is boring.
It's very boring. There's no other way to do it, though, it seems like. It's always that way.
I think it depends on the budget of it. When they got money to burn, then they got time to burn also. But if you're doing an indie movie, then they're gonna keep that shit moving. But then if you're doing I did this one movie, Band of Robbers, that's on Netflix. And it was just, we were active.
What is
on
it?
That. It's Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, but in real time.
Oh.
Like in current time. So I did that. And it played, did a few scenes in that, but it was quick. It was no wasted days, Sometimes you go to a movie set, they go, yeah, get here at 9 o'clock in the morning. You get there, go through the whole shit, get your hair, makeup, get your clothes on, and
sit around.
And just sit I've sat for full days.
Yeah.
Like full days, and then what was
nothing.
What the fuck was the plan?
Yeah.
How did
they just want you there in case they get through a scene. They can move on to the next one.
How did you not even do anything? Were you like, no, we're not gonna? You're not. No, you're good for the day, for the whole day. Who planned this out?
Now, when you were doing your TV show, how many months you did it? You said you did it for like 4 months.
8 episodes. So it was 2 months of shooting and then a month or a couple months of pre-pro. Yeah.
And you enjoyed it?
I did enjoy. I enjoyed it. I want to do I'll probably do something on TV next year again. Do a show once I get the idea right and figure out exactly.
You think you do Comedy Central again? Comedy Central needs a show. They need something.
I'll do somewhere. I'm gonna do what the best choice is. I had a good relationship over there still, but we'll see. We'll see what it is.
It's so hard to do those things because you got to deal with so many other people. You got so many different cooks in the kitchen, executives, all these different people hanging around.
That's one part. I mean, they were pretty chill. It'll be weird aspects and just weird things that you would think, you care about this? It'll be a weird line. Mm-hmm. Like, why do you give a shit about this line so much? But they'll let other shit go, but they'll sometimes give notes on something that seem pretty insignificant to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of times they just want to justify their existence.
Yeah.
Like they want to justify their paycheck and have some sort of a point of view, even if it doesn't make any sense. They just want to add to it.
Yeah.
Tweak it a little bit. That was my idea. You see when Hannibal took his hat off and made that little nod? That was my idea.
Yeah, conference calls is the work because everybody feels the need to chime in on a call. And I'm like, I've been on conference. I'm like, why am I on this call? I don't know if I had a conference call where it just felt really good. Like where I was like, that was a good conference call. Yeah. Glad I did that shit.
Never. I had a conference call once and I canceled a show. I was supposed to do a Comedy Central stand-up special on the old regime, and we had a conference call, and they had like a transcript of my set, and they were going over the material, and they're like, well, you definitely can't talk about this, and you can't say this, and you can't say. We got like 5 minutes into the conversation. I go, stop. I'm out. I go, I'm not doing this. And they went, what? I go, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. Like, there's no way. I go, you guys are butchering everything. I go, this is my act. You know what my act is. You want to cut things out and change things, and there's no way. This is not happening.
And you just
thank
bailed.
you, though. Yeah, I said, thank you, though. Appreciate it.
And then did they?
They were stunned. It was one of those stunned conversations. Like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
It's not happening. Did they flip, though?
No way.
No, it was just a straight up.
Well, I was like, we're going somewhere else. Like, this is crazy. It was one of those conversations where they were super resistant to controversial shit. This is what a few years back. Like, I wish I could remember.
Late 90s?
No, 2005-ish, 6-ish. I wound up doing actually a series a special on Netflix that went to Showtime. That was 2005. So that's where I wound up doing it. But the conversation on the phone was just like, what? Like, they were going over the material. No, okay, we're going to have issue with this. You can't say that. You definitely can't say this. I was like, this is just... doing those specials on TV, it's such a bad idea anyway because they're always all broken up, you know?
Yeah. It's especially for stories. I did my first 2 with Comedy Central, and they
Did they break up your stories?
They broke up a story. A longer story in my second one, if I'm not mistaken. But they're on Netflix now, and they're full. But yeah, they gotta. That's how they pay me, is that they fucking sell Axe body spray. I gotta take another piss real quick. I've been drinking too much water.
Drank 4 bottles of water. You might be the new water champ.
It's hot as shit outside too. Also today,
it is.
It's like 110.
Yeah, it's crazy
It's
hot.
hot in here too.
It's so hot that I went running, and it was burning the bottom of my feet through those 5-finger shoes. You know, I wear those really thin trail running shoes, those Vibrams that everybody tells me are going to kill me. People act like you're going to die if you wear those things. Like, I tell people I'm wearing, did you see the class action lawsuit? Don't you understand? Those things are terrible for you, bro. They're not. It's just your body is used to wearing a cast on your feet. Listen, to everybody that's worried about those things, I swear, if you just use those things and walk for a while and then like wear them a little bit and then eventually build up to running with them, you'll be fine. But you have to strengthen your feet. Neil Brennan said he got plantar fasciitis from running on a treadmill.
What?
With those things on. With those Vibram 5-finger shoes. Yeah.
Are those the ones that really stick to your feet?
They're
like webbing?
little toe shoes. I run with those. and they're better for your feet. It's like your foot has to be strong. Because most of the time when you're running with running shoes on. Like, if you see like the average pair of running shoes, they have a thick heel. And what happened is Nike, I think in the 70s, whenever they came out with these things, they literally changed the way people run because people started running and landing with their heel because that's where the big cushion is. So it changed the gait, the natural human gait, and it put way more pressure on your knees, and people started developing all these issues because of that. The real way to run is you're supposed to run on the forefoot, like landing on the ball of the foot and let the natural structure of your foot decelerate your stride. That's what you're supposed to do. But most people's feet are not conditioned for that because we wear these thick-ass sneakers everywhere, and those things act as, it's like wearing a cast everywhere. That's how it's been described to me. So over the last 4 or 5 months, I've been running with what they call minimalist shoes.
Yeah.
So there's almost no cushioning at all. It's very thin. And I was saying that it's so hot out that I was running in these things and the bottom of my feet got hot.
Yeah.
From running on the ground. The ground was so hot.
Was it starting to melt or something? Or
I could feel it. I could feel the heat through the bottom of my feet. It was hurting. It was actually like burning the bottom of my foot. Which, by the way, people, if you have dogs, be super fucking careful your dog's outside. Because you're walking your dog on concrete, you can easily burn the shit out of your dog's paws.
Did you see this the other day? I looked a little bit into it. It's, they're painting different sections of asphalt, I guess, here with, I don't know if it's like white
or
something, but
it's a heat absorbing color instead of like black asphalt, because black asphalt apparently it just absorbs the heat and reflects the heat
and radiates it around.
Yeah.
This is, it was dropping like 10 to 15 degrees almost immediately. I got 12 degrees just after one coat.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's amazing.
That's great.
This isn't saying all that as hot as I saw in the one article, but it was like 120 degrees. It was getting some places like off Sunset Boulevard in LA, like just in the middle of the day when it's like 85 outside, 90 degrees outside.
Makes sense.
It's really, really extra hot.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Yeah.
And all of LA's asphalt basically too.
Yeah. Paint that shit, stupid.
But
yeah.
This would change maybe a little bit on your feet.
Oh, yeah.
But you're running on dirt.
I'm running on dirt.
So.
I'm running on hills. But it was so hot. It was the first time it's ever like burned the bottom of my feet. Like I could feel it. It was hot. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm not I don't really jog, but I'm a good judge of form.
Are you?
I judge
you could be like a running coach.
I don't know if I could coach, but I could definitely tell you when you're wrong. Because I see some people like, too heavy-footed.
Heavy-footed's bad. Most people are running on their heels. I see people running, and I'm like, wow. It's crazy when you look around, too. You look around at how many people are wearing shoes with elevated heels. You're like, wow. That's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts how many people just got accustomed to wearing those kind of sneakers and running.
People are running basketball shoes or something, too, and that's like you probably shouldn't be doing that.
I think you'd be better off with that than you are with running shoes. Just don't land that way. Just don't land on your heel. If you land on the ball of your feet, basketball shoes, I think, should be fine. But what the fuck do I know? But, I'm running with I run only with those 5-finger shoes now. Or with, I wear these Morels, too. They're called Vapor or something or another. Like, they're real thin, too. Minimalist.
Do people ever try to... No, you're running, but people probably still will attempt to stop you while you jog, right?
Yeah, but I don't. You can't. It's just
you
stupid.
can't engage.
That's so crazy. Like I'm in the middle. You're literally going to interrupt a workout. It's like I've had people come up to me when I'm on a treadmill before. Like, hey man, can I get a photo with you? Like, definitely not now. But people do it if you can have a mouthful of food. You could be eating food. I was cutting food up for my daughter, and this lady asked me for a picture. I was like, are you crazy? Like, I'm feeding my kid. Like, this is just, people just don't give a fuck. They want to adorn their Facebook with someone that they saw on TV once. It's weird, man.
Not even printing it up.
They don't care.
Not even really printing it, usually.
Well, they don't even want it that much. It's just like they have a phone, and like it's like if you have a gun, you want to pull the trigger. You have a phone, you want to take a picture. Like, how many people do you see at the 4th of July taking videos of fireworks?
Yeah.
You are never going to watch that fucking video. Who the hell is going to watch a fireworks video? Like, how sad does your life have to get where you don't have anything better to do than be sitting there watching little lights go off on your 4-inch screen? Ooh.
Hey, man. Airport layoffs are real, dog.
Is that what you do? when you're sitting there?
I'm just thinking
you
for
watch.
the person that did it. When you like say you got a layover in Salt Lake City, you delayed about 5 hours.
You should go through your videos and delete all the fireworks ones. That's what you should do.
Just do some cleaning up.
Yeah, you're eating up a lot of gigabytes.
You are. When you look at it, you realize how much bullshit is on there.
Do you put shit in the cloud?
Yeah.
Do you do? Ooh.
I shouldn't know. I know. Even when I do it, I'm like, but it's nothing too
risque.
There's a couple risque things up there, but my face isn't in there. That's one thing. That's
just
one rule.
dick. All dick, no face.
Would you? I was thinking. I asked a friend this yesterday. Would you let's say Amazon started a Gmail competitor? Would you just not just jump over, but wouldn't it be a good thing maybe to just start fresh with all your email and be like, what do I need that's 20 years old in my email or 15 years old? All this old shit.
For sure.
Get it out of here. I don't want it. I don't want to see it.
I definitely, if I look at my email on a daily basis, 9 out of 10 things I get are bullshit. 9 out of 10. 1 out of 10 I need, and those people I would just give my new email address anyway. Like Ari did that pretty recently. Ari just changed his email. I'm like, it's a good move. I changed my phone. That's a good move too. Having more than one phone is a good move too. Having a phone for people like that fucking lady at that thing who wanted your number.
I got that phone. I just don't know that number by heart. I got 2 other numbers. I don't know them by heart.
Yeah, I just remembered my number right now by heart, and I'm about to change it again.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like not knowing it though. I don't care. As you know what else I like too? I like that my vision is going, so I can't read things. So when I if I get an email or something like that, I can go, what does it say? Okay, whatever.
And you can
I don't feel
use
compelled to read the whole thing. I don't feel compelled to put my reading glasses and go into depth. I just look at it, take a quick glance. Do I need to pay attention to this? That's just some bullshit.
Yeah.
Think about some important things.
That's like old man flakiness. I can't see that shit. I can't see shit.
What is that?
What is that? Nah, whatever.
What's that fucking
Put
newspaper?
the goddamn game on.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm practicing not giving a fuck. I've always been good at it, but I'm actively working on it harder and harder more now than ever.
It's tough, especially if you're thinking about. It's tough not to not give a fuck, but also be very aware and thinking about things all the time. Where you have to. If you're saying you don't give a fuck, you do give a fuck because you're making the choice to be like, I don't give a fuck. But you still do give a fuck. You just I'm not going to react in a way as somebody that gives a fuck. But I give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm making a choice, though.
You know what it's like? It's like I'm pretending I don't give a fuck by saying I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm putting that out there. I'm making a conscious decision to not give a fuck. But in doing so, I'm giving a fuck about not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Which means you give a fuck.
You know who don't give a fuck?
Who?
Locksmiths.
Why's that?
They don't get locksmith confidence, dog.
Why don't they give a fuck? Because they can open any door?
Because they can open any door, and you call them about the lock. I mean, I guess they have to eyeball it and see what it is. But I call I was locked out of in New York, and I say, you come through, and I'll be there. And I tell them that I'll be there in 5 minutes. What's the price? I'll let you know when I'm there. That's confidence. Right. I'm gonna tell you when I'm there because you need to get into your place.
Yeah, it's true.
And yeah, and so I've sent locksmiths away just as an act.
Because it's too much money?
Just as an act of aggression, yeah. Where he was like, it's this much. And I was trying to talk him down, and he wasn't having it. And he was like, so, and I was like, it's fine, dog. It's all good. And I just sat in my hallway for, I think I went to the bar a couple doors down, just called a locksmith.
How much did you save?
Not worth that time, but it was good for my spirit.
It felt good. Now, did you get a vibe off that dude? You had a vibe off that lady? You didn't want to give her your number? There's a vibe off a dude?
It's just, I think it's just because I just see how quick they can do it, and I'm like, I could do that in, they do it in maybe 20, 30 seconds sometimes. And I'm like, I could learn how to do it in the 5-minute version of that. How fast they do it. And so it makes me, when I see how they do it, it pisses me off to know that he can just break in my shit at any time and that he's just charging me an arbitrary price because this market is kind of, all over the place.
Yeah, well, I guess they have a skill and they should be paid for that.
Absolutely.
Right. So, what do you remember how much money it was?
I don't know, 150. Let's say 150.
Oh, I'd have just given him the money.
I'm probably.
Yeah, but you like you got an enjoyment out of saying no.
Yeah, because I think he's used to motherfuckers be like, sure. And I'm like, you know what? You got this skill. You can break into people's houses and shit. I've seen people do this shit fast, and I'm not having it. I live on a block. I live on a block with I'm not in a suburban area. My block in Brooklyn and Williamsburg, I got one of the most lit blocks.
A lot of shit to do.
It's just it's like 4 bars just on my very block. I got time to kill. Went down to my local and played some skee ball, hung out. Yeah. Why not?
How much did you offer to take off?
I don't remember the specifics of the negotiation, but it was a very nominal amount.
Like
that
$20?
meant nothing. Yeah, and he wasn't really budging and shit. Yeah, it was just
Insight into the mind of Hannibal Buress.
That's how my dad was.
3 apartments, rents them out with an Airbnb, $700 watch, big spend, no car.
No car.
Won't pay for a locksmith.
Will pay for a locksmith. I did pay for a locksmith.
Will, but not that one.
Not that one. Yeah.
How much do you think you saved on the second locksmith?
Not much, man. But drink money. I had some drinks at that bar. So yeah, $20-$30. Yeah.
I kicked in my door once. Didn't have my lock. Didn't have my key.
Were you with the family or was it just you?
No, I was by myself. When I was it was pre-cell phone days.
Oh, okay. I
just
thought
front kicked the shit out of that door and called the dude.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened? I was like, yeah, I didn't have my key. Had to fix the door jamb the whole thing. that little metal thing, that was all bent and fucked up. It's amazing how easy it is to kick open a door. Like when you see those dudes like banging their shoulder against the door, if you got a solid front kick, there's no way that door survives. They just open. Unless it's a pull for you door. If it's a pull forward door, you're fucked. Like you got to be able to kick through the door. Like you have to have a hard kick. But a push open door, super easy. They just open up.
You know, you said you were solo when you did it, but I just still have a locked image of your family with you while you kick open the door, and the kids like, yeah.
Well, if they were crying, I would. I kicked open the door once on the set of News Radio, and we blamed it on the band Anthrax.
Oh, it wasn't part of a scene. It was just you were.
It was a door to the break room. We were drunk, and I was with Maura Tierney, and she was like, God, I'm fucking hungry. I want to get in that break room. And I'm like, I can get in that door. And she's like, how are you getting in that door? I go, I'd have to kick it open. She goes, you can kick open that door. I go, yeah. And she goes, do it. I go, all right, here we go. Ba-boom! I just kicked the shit out of that door. And it bent the fucking, all of the shit that like works inside the door.
Yeah.
And then, but it was so worth it.
Wait, is this...
Very shady, though, to blame it on that band. It was wrong. They were working on the set that week. They were on the episode with us. To this day.
Is this at NBC Universal?
I think we were on Sunset Gower at the time.
Yeah.
I think.
Kicking in.
I just stomped a hole in that door.
Wait.
It was a big old metal door, too.
Did you used to act
those
drunk
guys.
sometime? Did you do some scenes drunk?
No. This was after the episode had been done.
Oh.
Wow, that's how pixelated is that? Yeah, that's them. They're cool guys, though. I hope production didn't call them. Because we were like, who, they were like, who fucked up the door? I'm like, who knows? And they're like, probably that fucking band. We're like, probably. Yeah. If I would guess it was that band. We just fucked up a door for like $10 in potato chips.
Yeah, I was wondering what the take was. Just
not much.
Just some chips.
Snack foods, whatever was available.
It felt good in the moment.
Oh, dude, just be able to do that feels amazing.
Yeah.
To be able to kick a door open.
My buddy Azar gave me this tip about like when he goes to the movies, he just orders a kid's ticket, and because the people taking the tickets, they don't look really, they just look at the theater number and the movie.
Right.
And I did it the first time, and it was 2 tickets. We saving $4 or whatever, 4 and some change, but it felt amazing. It felt felt like a mini heist, you know?
Really?
Yeah, it felt really good. It's like, yeah,
It's like you're
kids
nervous.
ticket.
Like, don't look.
It was
don't
a little bit of
look,
nerve.
Don't look. We're good.
Yeah, the girl didn't want to do that shit. She was like, "Why are you doing this?"
You're with a girl and you did that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a problem. Can't do that with a girl.
Yes, you can. I just you show them who you are. This is me. I am unreasonably cheap. Yeah, this is who I am. We are seeing a movie together.
You're setting the stage too, so like when that prenup comes, she understands.
Yeah. It was fine.
She's not gonna go, I can't believe you brought a prenup.
Yeah.
She's like, of course, you know me. I cheat at the movie theater.
Right.
I pretend to be a kid for $4.
Exactly. But that $4, that sends you, sends your brain into a great place.
That's something that a lot of women really get upset by.
What?
Cheapness.
Yo, I was out with this girl in Atlanta, and we went to this club. She was driving, and we park in this parking lot. It's like one of those situations where you park in a parking lot. It was a dentist's office, but now somebody's charging for it. And so my immediate question, it was like $5 for the parking spot, right? But my immediate question is, do they have a deal with this dentist's office, or do they just charge at night for people to park in this dentist's office? Because I'm like, you're not the dentist. Why can you come up? And I was telling her, I'm like, I told her that I was going to say that before we got out the car. I was like, I'm going to ask him if he's a dentist. I'm not going to. And she was like, ha, ha. And then we get out, and I was like, you're not the dentist. She was like, what the fuck is going on?
She was upset that you actually did it?
Yeah, and so I was really about to be like, what's the chances of it getting told? Like, I was really, not because of I think the cheapness was a part of it, but it was genuinely, I wanted to know the reality of the situation.
Right.
And
did they explain it to you?
No, she was getting upset, and I just paid the $5.
She got real upset?
Not really upset, but enough where we didn't have the same sense of humor and frugality, whereas we weren't on the same wavelength as far as that interaction, so she wasn't rolling with me.
That drives a lot of women crazy when they find out that you're cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was...
You're supposed to be bold. Like, that's one thing that women like. Like, they like when dudes make it rain, right? You're throwing a bunch of money in the air, you don't give a fuck. There's something about that, like, it's exciting.
I don't know about that. Strippers like that, but... I don't know.
Average women won't like that, right? That's true.
Yeah.
But it's a male move. Like, to make it rain in a strip club is a total male move, right? It's a saying that you don't give a fuck about money. It's just chuck it up in the air. Whoa, look at that shit.
I mean, it's a lot behind that. I haven't balled out in a strip club like that before. I think the most I've spent in a night in a strip club is maybe $800, something like that. Which in Atlanta I spent 2 months in Atlanta this summer. That's pretty low. There's some guys that go and just have 10 grand. Such and such, this rapper spent 20 grand in a strip club, which is shocking and frightening to me.
Atlanta's famous for that, right?
Yeah, it's great strip clubs in Atlanta.
I was just there. I was there Friday. I was at the Tabernacle.
Yeah, it's
fun time, man.
It's Atlanta's a fun city, man.
It's a very fun city.
It's a good nightlife, but yeah, the strip club where it's a spectacle. You know what I mean? So it's fun, but I went there a few times.
Who's throwing money?
Who's that?
21 Savage.
It's 21 Savage, Young Thug. They're on the stage. Maybe they did a song or something, but it's just they're throwing money on everybody. See, it's just.
But that is a thing. Like,
it's a thing.
The flamboyance of not worrying at all about money to the point where you just throw it up in the air.
Yeah.
There's a boxing ring. There's a girl with boxing gloves on.
That might be King of Diamonds.
You don't want to box on paper.
Oh, it's Atlanta. It's Atlanta.
You'll slip around.
It's some of the strip clubs, they have girls boxing.
What?
King of Diamonds in Miami.
What?
I went there once on a Monday. They have girls boxing.
Really?
It's a huge strip club. I don't like my strip clubs huge and overwhelming. I like my strip clubs kind of like dive bars. Like at certain strip clubs, if you walk in and you throw up a couple $100, like you can kind of take over the energy of the place. Like all the strippers will start coming to you and shit.
At a small place.
At a smaller place. King of Diamonds, that's like where Rick Ross hangs out. Mayweather threw something there. Like you see that.
King Diamond's Memorial Weekend.
It has a basketball court. I think we talked about strip clubs last time we were here. Too.
Did we? It happens.
They have a basketball court in there and a barber shop in the strip club.
What?
Yeah.
A barber shop and a basketball court? Why do they have a basketball court?
Because sometimes before you want to just get your, endorphins going before you throw out that money, I guess. Or maybe the strippers like to play basketball. I don't know. Weird.
Interesting.
But it's the music is great.
That's a weird strip club too, because the girls wear clothes. What's going on?
I think this is the preamble. I think this is the YouTube version.
Oh, I see. They're getting warmed up.
You want to go to Vimeo, you can see the real deal.
Oh, does Vimeo show nudity?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is, what's the rules with Twitter? Because I follow some porn stars, and they show full-on fucking.
I think that's it. You could do it.
That's amazing.
Sometimes I forget that I follow Pornhub on Twitter. And then I'll be scrolling through and it's just a gif of some just some hard fucking. I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, it's a real problem if you leave your phone around, your kids grab it. And they scroll through your feed, they're like, hey, scroll through the home feed.
They gotta, they're gonna see it somehow.
Ass and dick. Just one of those animated GIF files. 15 seconds of ass and dick, and like, woo. It's amazing that they can have that on Twitter with the millions and millions and millions of. Like, that doesn't bother them.
There's worse things on Twitter. Our president on a constant.
Did you see that woman, Valerie, I don't know how you say her name is, Valerie Plume or something like that. She's the CIA operative that was outed by, I guess it was Dick Cheney, I think. It was a big deal, because she had said something, or her husband had said something, so Dick Cheney outed her, and it compromised her position and compromised the mission she was working on. Anyway, she's working now on buying Twitter to kick Donald Trump off. Valerie Plame, Plame. I do not know how to say her name.
She has that much money?
No. She's crowdfunding to buy Twitter to kick off Donald Trump. She wants to buy Twitter just so they can kick Trump off.
$1 billion goal?
She made $85,000 so far. By the way, I got news for you, honey. Twitter's not for sale for $1 billion.
And
try
also,
to buy Twitter for $1 billion. That's nice. Come back when you got about $7 billion.
Get out of here, Valerie. Give that money to Houston. Fuck out of here. You're not gonna make it.
How much money do you think? How much money is Twitter worth? If Twitter was gonna be for sale,
it had to be for sale first.
It would have to be $15 billion, right?
Probably.
Something insane.
It's not on potential, but yeah.
It's the thing with Twitter. From the little bit that I know is that it, in comparison to the other social medias, they've had trouble monetizing.
Yeah.
In the same way. So, Instagram is making money. Facebook obviously making money, and Instagram's owned by them. Snapchat is doing well. Twitter hasn't figured out how to get real revenue. People use Twitter and are active on it and live tweet events, but as far as the money, it's been lagging in comparison.
I don't understand that. Do you understand that? That doesn't make sense to me. Like Instagram has sponsored tweets. Mm-hmm. What did that say? What are you putting up there? The market value $15.7 billion for Twitter.
Was about a year ago, yeah.
So why does that chick think she can get it for $1 billion? She's tripping. She's just trying to get attention, right? Yeah.
You think she smoked, or you think that's just pure, just anger to come up with
anger?
Just anger, not just to have the initial weirdo, wackadoodle, not gonna happen idea, but because I've had a lot of those, but then I calm down.
Yeah.
But to go through it, to be like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do a crowdfund to buy Twitter.
That's so stupid.
And then to actually go onto the site and then write it up.
Yeah.
Put your picture up there.
Yeah.
And then look at it, proofread, and go through all that shit and still be like, yeah, still crowdfund for Twitter, still be on board with the idea, and post.
It's so stupid because there's 350 million people in this country. If every single person, what's the matter?
She just wants to become the largest shareholder, so she can make the decision to do that. Which is
Why the
still,
fuck
like,
would anybody give her that money?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're giving her that money. Like, what if you gave her $100,000? Does she give you an accounting form of what she's doing with that $100,000? That's so stupid. No one's gonna die. I can't believe she got $85,000. That's
Yeah.
amazing in and of itself.
Well, the final number, the end of that number is 7, which means somebody gave like $2 or $1. Somebody gave a weird off number. Sure, I don't have much, but good luck.
Yeah, who's gonna give more than $5?
Let's look at the names, because sometimes they show the names of people that gave stuff and like what they said. And so let's just see. Victoria needs. Let's do this now. And what else? No.
The way he tweets,
We need
look
to
at
get
that
this
tweet.
fool out of office and put him where he can't cause damage. $5.
Look at that tweet that he made. Look at that tweet. Scroll back up, Jamie, to where it was before, so you can see Trump's tweet. Look at that. Military solutions are now fully in place. No space between comma and locked. So typos galore. Locked and loaded. No comma, no space again. Should North Korea act unwisely? And then double space. The fuck that's about. Hopefully Kim Jong-un will find another path! Exclamation point. It's like you took some housewife from the middle of nowhere and allowed her to be president. I mean, it's literally like the mindset of that tweet. It's a just silly tweet. Hopefully he'll find another path.
I mean,
Hopefully.
he's it's.
Are you disturbed?
I don't know if I'm even disturbed anymore. If I'm kind of like, or if I'm numb in a kind of I don't know, like domestic situation where I'm just like, yeah.
Domestic violence, like you've been beaten?
Like,
Like your wife?
that's what he said. Yeah, he went to Texas and like to see the flood damage and was like, yeah, good crowd, big crowd. That's what he like. Just where it's kind of
What a crowd! Here to see me, right? Everybody, yay!
No, I don't
Daddy.
think I don't think I'm disturbed. I don't think it would. I knew it would be bad. I didn't think it would
Be this bad?
Get this bad
This quick?
this quick. And yeah, it's really. I don't know. It's fascinating.
The thing that fascinates me the most is not just him, but how many people still support him. How many people
Just
don't have
black-
any problem with it?
Yeah, where I try to. I can't understand it really. Where they still are behind you, like you behind all of this, or is it just where they have a similar? Just are the people that are really into him? Are they the same type of just egomaniac or narcissist where they can't admit wrong, or they know that it's wrong, but I can't. I'm locked in now.
They're locked in. I think they're finding a way to justify whatever he does, no matter what it is. Like I had Kamau Bell yesterday on the podcast. I don't read comments on YouTube, but I did look at the thumbs up, thumbs down. And it's like he had as many thumbs down as thumbs up. That's super rare. And I think a lot of it was because he was talking a lot of shit about Trump. We were talking about how ridiculous this is.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple of comments on Twitter of people that got mad because we were talking about his response to Charlottesville. And they were saying, he was saying on all sides because there was violence on all sides.
Yeah.
Like, people showed up with torches. They showed up with torches for white folks. They were like, we're here for white folks only. We have torches. Like, you don't think that's an issue? You don't think people showing up a line of crazy white supremacists with torches? And the people that were opposing them, yeah, they fucked up too. But the only reason why they were there is because there was people with torches.
Right.
The whole thing was insane.
It's and he doesn't have he doesn't know how to handle it, and also he can't say that publicly. He can't say, "Hey guys, I'm panicking right now."
No, he can never say that.
But he can't say it explicitly, but he kind of says it through his actions.
I don't think he's healthy. Also, too, I think when you're 70 years old, like you were talking about, like your brain gets older, you're 34, right? Mm-hmm. I'm 50 now. My brain's getting older for sure. What's it going to be like in 22, 23 years? What is he, 71, 72, something like that? What's that going to be like? Not good. I don't think he should be working all day.
Yeah. That dude, He's too old, and he's a crazy person, and he used to host The Apprentice, and he was on the Comedy Central roast, amongst other things.
So he still watches 5 hours of TV.
Not to say that those things mean you can't be solid at being president, but this guy.
You say he still
insane.
watches 5 hours of TV a day?
Yeah, that's what I read yesterday.
Who reported that? Reuters?
I don't know. I mean, it's still. Let's see if I find one.
Reuters. They're a bunch of
Reuters?
fucking fake news. How could anybody have time to watch 5
Here's
hours of
the-
TV a day if you have a real job?
This wasn't a brand new article, but
Trump's
this is in the
TV
Atlantic.
obsession is a first. Look at that hair. Hilarious. Look at that. How they can just take a photo of his hair only and black everything out. That is the most bizarre image of a president. That crazy helmet of hair.
Yeah. Got to mix it up when you're a photo editor.
It's a good move, actually. Because, I mean, no
Yeah.
president has consumed as much. Hold on.
Sorry.
No president's confused as much television as the current one or reacted as quickly or directly to what they're seeing. He loves Fox and Friends. 6:24 a.m. Monday, Trump gushed over Twitter about the amazing reporting, in quotes, on the morning talk show. A week earlier, he instructed the nation to, in quotes, watch Fox and Friends now for their exemplary Russia coverage. Exemplary Russia coverage. He tweeted about the program hosted by Steve Ducey? How do you say that?
Yeah. Ducey.
Ducey?
Maybe? I don't know.
Dookie?
Never heard it.
Dookie, like poo. Ainsley? What are these people's names? Ainsley Earnhardt and Brian Kilmeade. 7 times in March alone, and recently brought it up in an interview with Fox News' Tucker Carlson, telling him cheerfully, "I like that group of 3 people." Even after becoming president, Trump reportedly manages to fill his days with plenty of television, in quotes, and from his tweets, it's often possible to discern when and what he's watching. In January, Axios broke down the president's media diet. Most mornings, Trump flicks on the TV and watches Morning Joe, but he hates that guy now. Not anymore. Now he hates that guy and he talks shit about his wife's plastic surgery, often for long periods of time, sometimes interrupted with text to the hosts or panelists. He texts them. After the 6 a.m. hour of Joe, he's often on to Fox and Friends by 7 a.m.
Show.
Wow. With a little CNN before or after, just to fucking get the blood pressure up. He also catches the Sunday show, especially Meet the Press. The shows, as he calls them, often provoke his tweets. The day of our interview with him, all of his tweet topics were discussed during the first 2 hours of Morning Joe. Wow. 5 hours of television every day,
That's
it
a
says.
guess. Not 5 a day, but too much. And also, it's weird that the president is easily baitable on Twitter, more so than me.
Did you see when Stephen Colbert got him, and then Colbert said, Mr. President, as much as I think you're terrible to be the president, I thought at the very least you understood show business. And he goes, you responded to me. He goes, that means I won. I got you.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
when he called Trump's mouth a cock holster for Putin.
Oh, that was a great joke.
It was a great joke. But it's crazy, like seeing that on a late night talk show. A late night talk show on CBS, the host calls the president's mouth a cock holster.
Oh, they didn't bleep cock?
I don't know what they did. They probably
They had
bleeped
to
it.
yeah.
But you knew what it was.
Yeah.
A cock holster. He's saying a cock.
Yeah.
You know what he's saying. But the fact that was in the monologue, that CBS is like, yeah, go for it. I mean, no other president, you would never have that. Not in a million years. The minimum amount of respect. No FCC fine for Stephen Colbert's late night Donald Trump cock holster crack. Wow. Yeah, they bleeped it. So was Trump trying to go after it for the FCC?
No, I don't know.
Do you remember when the FCC went after Howard Stern? People forget about that shit. He got fined, and he didn't even swear. He got fined hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Shit.
Yeah.
How you think it ends?
Him?
This guy. You think he ends his term? You think he dies in office? You think he ODs? You think he gets impeached? You think what happens with Trump?
It's a good question. I don't think he gets a second term, but
You think he
I
makes
could be
it?
wrong. I think he makes it to the end of the term.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it's just hell on wheels on a giant disaster, and it gets worse and worse. And I think here's the thing that Howard Stern had a really good point about Trump. He said he wants to be loved. He wants people to love him. This is a terrible job if you want people to love you, because even the people that supported you, once you get in there, you're trying to do this impossible job that really no one's been able to do. Like, people forget that Obama had like a very low approval rating too at one point in time in his presidency. I think he was in the low 40s, like 44% or something like that approval rating. Like, it's not a job that anybody does well. Even if you're the best at it ever, you still a giant percentage of the population, millions and millions of people are gonna fucking hate you.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't think that's in that guy's psyche.
Especially if you check Twitter like that.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
he can block himself from it a little bit.
Well, he blocks regular people. When regular people
he
tweet
can
at
block himself from that.
Yes.
But just like by deleting it off his phone, he can kind of get away from it. But I don't think he could just take that attention away from himself.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think it's healthy for him, especially at this late stage of his life, you know?
Yeah,
in his 70s, taking this kind of heat. Because before he was president, that guy, some people didn't like him, some people loved him, no big deal. He was generally able to like walk around everywhere and not be hated. Like, he could go to restaurants, people go, "Oh, look, there's Donald Trump." There's no people were like hating him.
Right.
He could
It's
go
just
all-
like, oh, he's
he's famous.
he's kind of a douchebag, maybe.
Right, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
he seems
That's good.
douchey.
I like how you said that. Maybe.
Yeah,
I
probably a
don't know.
douchebag, whatever. But
Yeah,
that's Trump over there.
But
All right,
nobody
back
was
to
mad.
dinner.
Yeah, they might laugh, or they might try to get a selfie with him,
Yeah.
ask him a question. But now, the amount of hate he experiences is probably like 400 or 500% more even, ramped up through the roof.
Yeah, it's a 5-digit weird number or something.
Crazy.
Unquantifiable hate towards this man with the weird hair from The Apprentice.
Yeah, everybody just wants to take a free shot at him too, like everywhere he goes. Poor bastard.
People are building goddamn careers off of hate.
They
him.
are.
The Trump, the President show on Comedy Central.
That's true.
Goddamn Colbert has beat Fallon in the ratings lately because he's been ripping on him.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers are making their goddamn legacy off of this dude being an asshole.
People are mad at Fallon because Fallon was too nice to him when he was running for
Get
president.
the hair thing. I mean,
Must
it was
his
already
hair.
a done deal then. You think Fallon was going to run it?
No, but it was that Fallon didn't grill him. It didn't like pressure him. That's what people are mad at, that he didn't treat him like a dangerous person. But
Yeah.
Fallon probably had no idea that he was going to win, too.
Yeah, it was jokey at that point. Fallon should have played one of those weird games and then cheated. Said, "Fuck you, I'm with her."
Yeah, he's mussing his
Shoved
hair
face
up.
in it.
Big smile, mussing his hair up.
Yeah,
Very weird.
Yeah.
Fallon, yeah, it's very weird.
be,
It's just so strange that that's our president. It's hard to believe sometimes. Like, sometimes I'll stare at the news and I just have to look at it for like seconds, like 10, 15 seconds, to just go, okay, this is real. This is real. That really is the president. It's
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Have you traveled abroad yet with him as president?
Yeah, Italy.
Italy
Yeah, that's it.
with the fam?
Yeah,
How was it?
it's normal. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
It's normal. They just, they don't give a fuck. They're over there doing Italy shit.
But you were doing so you was just vacation, no
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
No shows. Yeah. I'm sure if you go somewhere, I've been to Canada to do shows, but I'm sure if you go and do shows, have I? Wait a minute. No, I haven't. My first shows with Trump as president will be next weekend in Edmonton. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been anywhere while he's actually been the president. It's going to be a trip, man.
Yeah,
It's-
they just kind of blame it on you. Like in the few conversations I've had when I've been out of the country, like, what are you guys doing
Yeah,
over there?
exactly.
Like, it's not me.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
didn't do it.
Well, they have a situation that's the exact opposite. They have a super liberal president that was letting in any immigrants, and now he's apparently cooled off on that too because
Trudeau?
they're having Trudeau also, they're having issues with free speech. People are getting fined for saying things. They're setting up these weird laws where you can get in deep shit for misgendering people, not using the correct gender pronouns. One of 78 different gender pronouns that people use now. Like, they're super ultra
Yeah.
left wing like his cabinet and his ideas. He's a real, like, legitimate social justice warrior president. So it's interesting. It's like you got both schools right next to each other.
That's
Both of them are kind of fucked.
yeah. We did it.
They did it too.
We did it. Russia did it.
Nobody should fucking be president, man. Nobody shouldn't be presidents.
Hot take.
We need more. We need a group of humans.
Just a group, like 12.
Yeah,
like a
something
jury.
Like that. Yeah,
like
yeah.
how a jury is.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And a group of intelligent people that are qualified, like with like a great education, excellent ethics, great morals. You can't have just a popularity contest to see who gets to control the nukes. It's fucking crazy. I hope we get past it. But I don't think we're going to. I think once we have things written on paper, once we have like a way that we operate, once we have some sort of a plan that we follow, it's very difficult to get people to shake that. To have some sort of a new reasonable plan to run the country without representative government, like senators and congressmen and people that you have to like. I mean, they had all that shit back when they couldn't get a hold of people. I mean, they had all that. All that stuff was, and I'm not saying that there shouldn't be some representatives. I'm saying that the system that's in place right now was really in place right now because you had a representative of every state, and they had to travel to D.C., and they did their business, and they'd come back to their constituents. Well, the constituents can all communicate in real time now. I mean, we have this a unique ability now to share your opinions and even to vote online. That also should be an option. 100% we should be voting online.
I don't know about that. That could be easily rigged. I mean, if
dick pics on the cloud, he's worried about people voting online.
Listen, who knows? That's just a dark dick. It could be anybody's. Could be anybody's. That's not me.
Yeah.
Just play the voice. Oh,
Yeah.
it's not saying anything? There it is.
Fake news. Fake
Fake news, rooters.
Photoshopped. Yeah. I just think a better system is possible. This is not the best system. I feel like this is like trying to patch up Windows 95 over and over again. Just come up with a new system.
Yeah, it's a couple hundred years old.
Come on.
Mix it up.
Come on. Mix it up.
But, that's going to take
a lot of time.
A lot of time to do.
What's in the notes, man?
We got through it already.
Everything?
Pretty much.
We got through it organically.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I'm not a hammer it in type of,
Okay, did that.
morning radio type of,
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, so what do you want to talk about?
Do you do those still? Do you do morning radio shows?
No, I haven't done them in a while. No, and I don't even.
Those
they
are the
asked me to
worst.
call in. I
So
can't
Hannibal, I understand that you were at a baseball game
even, I was
recently.
at a baseball game. Baseball's super boring. Yeah, it's just, I can't. No, we got through everything except for weirdly the one. Congratulations on 1,000 episodes.
Oh, thanks,
by
man.
the way.
Thank
I
you.
started a podcast last year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Handsome Rambler.
Ooh,
It's
good
been
name.
it was a high name. I'm locked into it now. I
It's a good
consider
name.
changing it.
I like it.
It's fun though. It's been good.
Do you have guests?
Have guests on.
Yeah. Where do
Yeah.
you do it?
We do it all over. We do it it's me and my DJ Tony Trim. So we do a lot of them in Chicago, but we travel and yeah, it's we have comedians and we have a lot of musicians on.
How often you do it?
I do them. We put them out every week, but we block record them just because
okay.
we're usually traveling a lot. So we just
Byron Bowers.
We have a theremin and we do make goofy songs. We do.
Where's that set?
That's Tony's crib in Chicago.
Oh, that's a nice setup there.
Yeah, so we play some songs and shit and goof off and do some interview stuff. It's a fun time though. It's been good.
Nice.
It's kind of changed, how I feel like I'm when I talk to people, I feel like a better person. Not because I have a podcast, but I feel like I'm more in tune with what a person is saying than I used to be.
I know
Where
what you're talking
yeah,
about.
where I end up accidentally interviewing people.
When you talk to them in real life.
But
you mean?
but like asking good questions, where
Right.
I genuinely, like not in a practicing way, where I end up talking to people, but asking, better questions than the where you from, so the getting beyond the surface level. So I think that's happened because of that.
Well, I feel like the same thing with me.
Yeah.
I learned how to be a better conversationalist.
Yeah.
You evolve, for sure. You also learn what's annoying about your speech patterns.
Oh. Yeah. I say a lot of yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
People say like a lot. Like.
Yeah.
It's like, there's like, you know, and like. Those are big ones.
Yeah. You know, like, and yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just said 3 years in 5 seconds.
Well, you also learn how bad, like, a lot of regular people are at having actual conversations. A lot of people are just waiting for you to stop talking so they can talk. Like, they're barely paying attention to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a good conversationalist it's huge.
It's a lot of tools.
Yeah.
Did you read books and shit when you first started, or did you just go
On how
into
to?
it, or did you study certain people as you went along, or when you first started?
No, total trial and error. Just doing it a lot, in 1,000 episodes. But we've done 1,000 episodes plus another 40 that were like fight companions,
Right.
podcasts on a plane, podcasts on a hike. There's a bunch of different ones, fight breakdowns.
How often do you listen to them, or do you watch?
I listen to occasionally. I listen to one if I think it sucks, if I think I was bad, or if I think the person said something like super interesting. Like there was one the other day with Sean Carroll. He's an astrophysicist, and he's an expert in quantum theory. And it's just the shit he was saying is so hard to grab a hold of. I had to listen to it several times.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's mostly just me asking questions and him talking. But it's just the stuff that he's saying is so intense. You got to kind of listen to it over and over again with my feeble little brain just to try to like store it. Like, okay, what is he saying? And there's another one. There's this woman that she's on all the time, Rhonda Patrick, Dr. Rhonda Patrick. And
What's her specialty?
Nutritional absorption and just how nutrients affect the body. That's like the big thing with her. And she's one of the smartest people I've ever talked to. She's freaky smart, like almost like an alien. Like you talking to her and you realize how dumb you are, because like you can ask her a question about something, and not only can she tell you what it is, she'll recite the studies that were done and what percentages the studies, and she's just pulling this right out of it in between her ears.
Right.
She's not
no prep.
No
Just
computer.
straight into.
She has notes, but she rarely uses them when she comes on the podcast. She'll like have something that she wants to talk about, like some new study on like broccoli sprouts was one that she went over the last time because she's been experimenting with broccoli sprouts, and she's a clinical researcher as well, so she does actual scientific research. So she's one of them that I listened to like several times just to try to remember what the fuck she was saying.
So does she hit you up the same way I hit you up with Joe? I got this broccoli sprout shit I need to get off.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes she'll say, and I'll hit her up too because she's a researcher too, because she's always like, for lack of a better word, balls deep in research.
Right.
And she's like, sometimes she doesn't have time to do podcasts. She's in the middle of so many different things that she's working on, actual science. That's the interesting thing about having real scientists on, is you realize like what a different world they live in.
Absolutely. I would never have a scientist on mine.
No? But you might enjoy it.
Maybe down the line, but right now I keep it to
Fun.
people keep it fun and with people I know, and I think it maybe down the line as I grow at it, then I'd be able to carry that kind of conversation with confidence, or at least lead them into what they want to say and ask engaging questions during it. But for right now, keeping it rappers, comedians, musicians.
Just fun, right? Well, some of my favorite podcasts that I do are like comedians like yourself or my friends. Or one thing I can tell you though, looking at that image of you guys, this is a mistake that we did when we first started out. We did it on couches. The problem with couches is you got to like sit forward where the microphone is. They're not that comfortable.
Right.
Like I realized after a while, like see how you guys are like everybody's leaning forward. Look at that. See, like on this show, you're sitting in these ergonomic office chairs.
Yeah.
You're sitting back, but you're sitting up, and you can sit here for hours and hours at a time. If you do 3 hours sitting the way Byron Bowers is right there, that shit's gonna hurt your back.
Oh well, we keep about an hour and a half or so.
Hour and a hal's good.
Yeah.
That's right when it starts to twing, make you like, But like office chairs are the way to go. There's a reason why they make these things, like especially these ergonomic ones.
Yeah.
These are from Ergo Depot. They're called Capiscos for people that ask, and they're not a sponsor or anything. they're badass chairs, and they force you to sit up straight, so you can sit in these for hours, and it doesn't fuck with your back.
Solid tip, Joe Rogan.
Solid tip.
I appreciate that.
I made those mistakes. I had a couch.
Yeah.
And Ari Shafir took that couch. He sold it. I gave it to him, and he did something with it. I think he eBayed it or something. Let everybody know it's the couch. Look at this going on here. What's happening here?
That's we went to Moog Fest.
What is that?
Moog Fest. Moog is the company. They make synthesizers. So a lot of bands, you'll see they use Moog products. And so the Theremin that we use on the podcast, this is, the Theremin is the instrument that you can operate with waves. Like just you move your hands around it. They make that. And so Tony, my co-host, he said, we should go to Moog Fest. And so I was like, that's a good idea. They had their festivals in Durham. So I reached out to them, and they said, sure, come to the festival. We did a couple podcasts there. And then also they have a workshop where you can build your own drum synthesizer. So it's a 2-day workshop where you build it they give you all the parts, and you build it from scratch, and you do all the soldering and screwing. So I built this drum synthesizer in May.
Is that what you're doing there? Is that what's in your hand? That's a soldering iron or something like that?
At that point, yeah, I'm soldering right there, yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. So that's like a, what is that? What are those boards called?
Circuit board?
Circuit board?
Yeah. So, yeah. We both worked on, I didn't do all the work on, but I did a lot of, that was my first time soldering anything. I hadn't done actual building shit with my hands in a long time. But yeah, then when we built them all, everybody built theirs, and then at the end of the class, linked them all together, and they just kind of fucked around with them and just made crazy noise. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It was fun, man.
That seems pretty badass.
Yeah.
Making your own sense. So that's a cool. What? Just off a whim, you just decided to go and do that?
Well, we just. I looked it up, and it was a bunch of artists that I liked there too, and so and we reached out to them. It's kind of a chill festival. It has some bigger artists, but it's still pretty small in the way that we were able to hit them up a few weeks before, and they were able to accommodate us with time slots. They said, okay, they were already gonna have somebody interview Flying Lotus, so they had us interview him, and we interviewed Animal Collective, and they were pretty it was just loose and chill. And it was easy to navigate. It was a fun festival. Yeah, it was just on a whim. I like them.
So do you use that thing now? That's got to be like kind of satisfying, knowing that you made something.
I haven't used it yet because it's I had to get it from New York and bring it to Chicago and start using it. I use the Theremin more though. That Theremin is fun.
So like, what do you make music?
We make songs on the podcast. We do instead of doing an ad read, we do a jingle for each one. We do an original song for each ad.
So you write the songs and you like with their talking points?
We do the song, and it's kind of hooky usually, just saying the same. Like we got Bevel as one of our sponsors, so we go Bevel, 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 and he'll produce around it, and then we'll do the read after the song and shit.
This is the Theremin that he's talking about too.
Oh,
where
wow.
You just wave your hands over it and it makes music.
5mm stereo headphone out.
Huh.
The other antenna will control frequency.
I didn't know that. I didn't know about that hand technique.
Yeah.
I usually do a full open hand.
That's Mars Attack shit.
It's real weird. It's a real weird thing.
But it's
Whoa.
fun, man. And so we've made some beats with that.
That's fascinating. I never heard of this thing before.
Yeah, we really use that. I mean, and Tony he'll have a drum machine. We got a microphone that does like auto tune and stuff.
Wow.
So it's really to cover up that we're bad interviewers. It's like it'll be a lull and we can't think of something. You'll be like, ooh. It just start goofing off and making a song.
Well, don't you think like you're probably not an interviewer? You're just having a conversation, right?
Yeah. Well,
that's what podcasts are, really.
Right. Absolutely. But I just I can talk. You know what I mean? But I also want to be when I have a guest, I want to like put them in a position to shine. You know what I mean? And so sometimes I'll catch myself kind of going off, and I'm like, oh shit, let me get it back to them. You know what I mean? And
That's where you use that thing.
well, no, I'll catch myself going off onto into a long ass story, and then I realize let me just bring it back and get it to this guest. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
fun. It's
That's a
fun
good
though.
move.
It's a fun time.
As long as it's fun, man. That's
Yeah, man.
everything. Do you find that like a lot of people that are coming to your shows, they listen to the podcast and it sort of like gets you closer to them?
Yeah, it is. Well, we get a lot of messages about it, and people say they've bought Theraminis because you're like, I didn't even know what a Theramini was, but now I want one because they play it so goddamn much. And it's kind of a running theme on the show where the guest will be like, what is that thing? And you're like, ooh. And that's a therapist. So it's just kind of it's almost like a third host of the show where the person finds out what it is and I explain it pretty much every time. It's a fun time though. Yeah.
And so tell people that's Handsome Rambler. They
It's
can get that
Handsome
on
Rambler,
iTunes.
SoundCloud, the other ones. What is it?
What else you got?
I don't know.
What is it?
Google
SoundCloud,
Play.
Google Play. That's
Google
right.
Play.
It's amazing how few people bring up Google Play because like half the people have Androids, don't they? Isn't like?
Yeah.
But Google Play never gets discussed. And you can get Google Play on an iPhone too, right? But you can't get iTunes. Can you get iTunes on an Android phone?
You can't get the podcasts on Google Play on the iPhone because there's a podcast app which Google or Apple doesn't usually let you compete with their own apps they already have built in the phone, whatever.
They don't let you. But they let you use some podcast apps, right?
I don't know.
There's that comedy podcast app that Ari Shaffir is always
But
talking
that's
about.
different though. That's a comedy app that's aggregating different comedy things.
They wouldn't let you just use an actual podcast app
I don't
other
think
than
so.
theirs.
I don't think so. I could be speaking wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah, man. It's a tough road for those Android people.
Yeah.
It's a tough road. People just look at you illegitimately. If you,
Green text message, man.
yeah, they get weirded out by you.
Yeah.
I bought one already and it's coming soon.
You bought one?
Yeah,
You
I
get
bought
crazy?
it off a whim. Red, like the mixed
I
stick
saw
cameras.
that.
They
Dude.
made one and they just announced it and I was like, ooh.
It looks tremendous.
They made an Android phone?
Yeah, and it hasn't. They just put up a picture where you can only see like the corner and the rest of it's all like shaded out. I'll see if I can find it real quick.
No,
but-
that dude Marcus got a hold of one and
Yeah,
did a
then
review.
I saw the video of it
Yeah.
after, but I already bought it before that. I just kind of went ahead and because they had some wording on the bottom that like there's going to be some special things that you won't be able to buy if you don't buy in this window. It was a whole sales pitch, but like I just went ahead and
You bought ahead.
Bought it
So you're
just
going
to
to
see if
switch
it's
over to
working.
Android.
not switch. It'll just be like a
Second hoe phone? You're going to have a hoe
If
phone?
it doesn't work, I'll sell it and just whatever. But it's supposed to also be a modular something or other for the new cameras they're going to have coming out too. So it'll actually be a physical tool. It's more or less just a 5-inch screen that's a tool for these cameras that don't have any screens on them.
Yeah,
So
and
I
those
find out-
red cameras, for people who don't know, there's a lot of television shows that get filmed with those. They're like super high-end, high-definition, top of the food chain cameras. That new phone does look dope, and it's got like these crazy grips on the side of it. Like the side of it is not smooth. It's got like finger holes, like where your hand grips onto it.
Well, they had to been doing great as a camera company where they said, let's do phones also.
This is
Yeah,
why
let's
I
get
got a
crazy.
holographic display.
What?
Yeah, well, Marcus is the video. What is Marcus's last name?
Brownlee?
There's a video where Marcus is watching it, and he's like, "Whoa."
Yeah, he can't show you what it looks like.
He
but-
said he can't show you. He goes,
Yeah.
you can tell,
Shit.
you can see my reaction to it. And by the way, he's like, the reaction is not even to the finished product, which would be even better than it is now. But you see how the side edges
Yeah.
have those weird grips to it? It's really kind of interesting.
Because it picks it up in here or something.
Yeah, he's messing with it, but you could see like when he's holding it in his hand, like what it looks like.
Where's that?
Is that it?
He's just talking about it.
I think that's a
Yeah.
different video than the one I saw. Maybe it's not. He was on a couch.
Hands on. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. And you see the thing. It doesn't look like any other phone you've ever seen before. Like, yeah, there you go. Like, see the sides of it? It's all like, it's got like ripples, like finger slots.
Yeah.
It's real big too.
Huge.
It's way bigger than the iPhone, like the
Yeah.
biggest iPhone now.
But he's got big hands, so you can't tell as much.
I got tiny hands. I be dropping this shit.
Do you? Which
Yeah.
one do you have? A regular iPhone?
Yeah, I didn't
You
get
don't
the
even
big
have the big
phone.
one.
Yeah, because my hands can't handle that shit.
You got to two-hand it.
Yeah.
But there's so much. It's so worth it if you go online. Like if you go online, you want to read something online.
Yeah.
It's just so much better with a big screen. It's just the experience and looking at pictures and videos of fireworks and shit.
Yeah.
Just the holographic display is interesting. I'm a little worried too that they announced something they won't be able to deliver on, which happens from time to time.
Oh, Jamie's Mr.
In tech
Skeptical.
world.
Look at the size difference. That thing's
We'll see,
giant.
The red marketing person went from really excited to like,
Got mad at Jamie.
We'll
come
see.
on,
We'll see.
man.
Fuck you,
Give
Jamie.
me
I bought it.
A
We'll see.
full-on hype piece until I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it.
You're gonna get a bunch of eggs on Twitter with like 0 posts, like "fuck you, young Jamie,
Android
piece of
bots.
shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that Galaxy Note 8 looks insane too. That's coming out real soon. That's like almost out.
They don't still make the airplane announcements about
No.
the things, do they?
That was
the
the
Note
7.
thing.
Yeah, they don't make it anymore. Pretty much everybody's gotten rid of that thing. If you're a holdout, you're like, I don't give a fuck. I charge it, but I charge it in I take a pot from my stove. I charge it in that fucking thing just in case it catches fire. Put it in the fireplace.
Did you see that little video showing how people if they're in the floods, how to still charge their phones off of a 9-volt battery?
And
No.
and a key, yeah.
What?
Ooh, it looks sketchy, but it works.
You can do
instantly.
it?
Yeah.
How do you do
I'll
it?
show you.
9-volt, yeah, 9-volt battery. Put in a car charger. I'm on the internet too much. I need to unplug.
It does happen.
Oh, it was a different lady that
This isn't the
showed
video
it.
I saw, but this is the same. She's
Yeah.
doing the
Okay,
same
so
thing.
she's got a car charger, and she takes the car charger and sticks it on the end of a 9-volt battery, like one of the slots, and then puts a key in the other slot.
I think you got to touch
She
it
gonna
together
die?
to
Yeah.
get the circuit.
What if this lady
completed.
just burst into flames and lost her eyelids?
So you can get electrocuted by doing this. Is
You
what I
can.
heard. So yeah, be careful. But
Even from a 9-volt battery, you can?
It obviously won't be a big charge, I don't think, but it will charge the phone if
So
you
she
need
touches the two of them together. Wow, that works. That's crazy.
Nice.
That's nuts.
it. So if you're in a pinch and all you got's a 9-volt battery and you need to call 911, maybe
Why
you
don't
can
they
do
make a
something.
battery adapter for an iPhone? Why don't they make a little thing where you can plug a 9-volt battery into it?
Oh.
Just go to a store, buy a battery, plug that fucker in, and charge your phone. Does anybody have that? How do they not have that? Because they have those banks, those power banks that you can plug your shit into.
Charger case. It seems like somebody would have this.
Have you seen that new luggage that you could ride? Have you seen that shit?
Turns it into a scooter.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
How much is that?
I don't know. I retweeted it the other day, though. It was on Mashable, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. That thing goes 8 miles an hour. You sit on that fucker, and you ride around the airport with it.
That's
It's legit.
that's one way to stunt. That's
Do you-
one way to handle a layover.
Just drive around the airport until your luggage runs out of batteries. But you can also use the battery charging of the battery, and you use it to charge your phone. Like, you can plug your phone into that. That alone is worth it. Like, always
Absolutely.
having battery power right there connected to your luggage. That's a lot of these luggages are doing that now. Look at that. Get the fuck out of here.
And that's a carry-on?
Yes. These people are having a good old time.
I have to go.
Oh, come on. I got to get online immediately and buy this. Come on. It's called, what is it called? A moto bag?
Yeah.
Come on. Look. See, she's fitting her stuff in there, and then she drives off. Wee. But
Is
look
it-
at this. She could plug into it. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I want to see you ride that in an airport, though. I
I'll
think
do
it
it.
would be fucking.
I'm
You don't think I do it?
I don't know.
yeah.
You don't know if I do it? Wait, what? You could do it does that? What was that?
What do you do?
She had a gyroscope. Is that real?
Yeah. I'm getting that.
Back up a little bit. Right there,
Right.
and then there's yeah.
Oh, they're just
Oh,
next
that's
to a Segway, just to show you.
Is there a standing option? Like,
at this
can
guy.
can the
Can you stand up?
can the handlebars go up and then?
Good
See, this
question.
is why that doesn't work because I got
Suitcase
that
scooter
fail.
fail.
I definitely tried it.
Yeah, but this is a guy that's just rolling around on it like an asshole. Oh, this is that dude that's on YouTube. Who's that guy?
Casey
Neistat.
something.
Yeah, he's famous on YouTube. Is that his apartment?
That's his office.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is he doing in there? Making a Frankenstein's
He
monster?
makes all kinds of videos and films and shit. He's been making movies on YouTube and HBO for 15 years or something, I think.
No. He's got a crazy workshop, man.
Uh-huh.
Is he
Everything
in
in there's-
Brooklyn or something?
he
Is
makes
he
it
one of
all.
those dudes?
Manhattan, Broadway, somewhere like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's got 9
Shop
screens.
vacs and-
Godfather's always on right there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The Godfather is always on?
Godfather 1 and 2 on a constant loop. It's like a screensaver.
I'm about to go buy the scooter, man.
Let's wrap this up. Hannibal, tell everybody where you're going to be if they want to see you go do stand-up.
Oh, I'm going to be in Camden, New Jersey, and Bristol, Virginia with Lauryn Hill and Nas, September 14th and 15th. And then...
Did you talk to Lauryn Hill about taxes?
I haven't talked to her. We haven't done any dates together yet.
You going to ask her about taxes?
I don't know.
They locked her up.
They did lock her up for taxes. That's a weird backstage convo for a first meeting. Hey, so taxes and stuff, that's crazy. You know,
Locked her up.
Yes,
in a jail.
In jail.
For like a
taxes.
while.
For a couple years, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And now she's out.
She's out and touring. Somehow it's me, Lauryn Hill, Nas.
That's amazing.
On a tour. I think Chromix is one of the other acts. We'll be in Seattle, Bay Area, Miami, San Diego, playing Hollywood Bowl, October 5th.
Beautiful.
And all my dates, HannibalBuress.com. So check me out this fall.
Check them out, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, yo.
My pleasure. All right, folks. This fucking podcast is over. Live your lives. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.